Right, are you okay to crack on now then?
Yes, let's give it a whirl. So I've got to look at that, haven't I?
Well, no, we just have a conversation just now, like we are. So you just look at your computer camera. But if you want to talk to the folks who are listening or watching, then look at your camera, and then you're making eye contact with them.
So we can do like some emphasis, like boom, boom, boom.
Exactly,
boom.
That's the one.
Right,
that's the one.
With it.
Right, folks. This week we have username Kate.
Hello, howdy.
Kate, are you okay if I use your full name, or are we just sticking with first names?
Go for it.
Right, folks. This is Kate Ralph. Kate Ralph goes by the tag name. I think, is it tag? Is that what the kids say?
Tag. Okay, say that.
Predominantly on Instagram. Username Kate, and you've got a YouTube channel as well, haven't you?
Yes, I do have a YouTube channel.
Beautiful. So, folks, if you like what you see and hear through the course of this podcast, then make sure you fire over to Kate's Instagram, all the other social medias, and the YouTube, and give her a like, a follow, subscribe, all the rest of it. So, Kate, thank you very much for coming on.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for having me. Scraping the barrel a bit with me, but
no, don't be daft. Don't be that. Well, we've been chatting for a wee while, haven't we? About trying to get you on there, and great stuff. You stepped up to the plate list this week, and thanks very much for that. So,
no worries. Thanks for giving me something to do during lockdown.
Yeah, how's it all going up there?
It's quiet. I'm not working, so there's that. But it's given me a lot of time to like plan some content and actually make more of an effort on my YouTube, which is kind of good.
Yeah.
But it's the money side of things where you just like, you want to be working and getting the dollar.
Yeah, absolutely. You're in bike sales, aren't you?
Yes. Yeah. Been in bike sales for a while, but recently just started at a new job.
Mm-hmm.
So that's selling Beamers.
Oh, I see.
So if you want a BMW, hit me up.
You used to be Harley, didn't you?
I did.
So
I sold Harleys for a bit,
yeah,
and then got approached by these guys, and
awesome.
It's just the way the cookie crumbled.
Yeah. What a time to be in bike sales. Oh, blimey.
Oh, I know.
There will no doubt be some questions, I imagine. Do you know the format here, how I normally do things in the podcast?
Yeah, I think you speak to your clan, don't you?
That's right, yeah. Well, I chuck up on my clan on a Patreon, I chuck up on all the social media, and I say who the next guest's going to be, and then people have the opportunity to leave questions. And it basically means we don't need to make small talk for an hour or two. We can just go through their questions and just see where the conversation takes us. You know, anything and everything is open for us to chat about. So feel free. If you want to effing blind, it's up to you. And there's normally beer, so if you have a tipple, help yourself.
Well, I do.
Go on,
I said I was going to go for gin.
Right. Oh.
Di Serono, here we are.
Oh, my word.
Hey, girl. I know. It's a bit hardcore at this time, isn't it?
It is a bit. You're doing well. It's only like 10 o'clock in the morning.
But yeah, so this is a tipple for the day.
Lovely job. Excellent. See, highbrow. It's normally booze. It's normally beer. And look, you've taken it up a level now.
No, I absolutely can't stand beer.
Can you not?
No.
But you're a good northern bird. What's going on there?
I'm a letdown, really, to my species.
Yeah.
The northern species. No, I should really, but I need the sort of Ponzi cocktails and stuff. That's my gag.
I'm gonna have to crack open a bottle of single malt next time, I think.
Yes.
Get the lardy on the go, the cigars. Right. Cheers. Slange.
Chin chin.
Chin chin. Right, yeah, so well, we may as well crack on with some questions, and then we'll go from there, will we?
Sounds good to me.
Awesome. Right. As always, we'll start off with, I'll say it the one time. Well, I won't. I'll probably mention it loads. Over on Patreon, patreon.com/TeapotOne, we have the Gorilla Biker, Michael. Actually, I just did a podcast with Michael. I was on his podcast the other day, actually. Top bloke. He's asking, how does selling bikes in a corporate setting compare to being a clear motorcycle enthusiast? Is it hard to be around all those delicious new bikes and not own them?
No.
No?
And do you know why?
Go on.
Because I get to demo them.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So, it's not too terrible. There's always been like people that say, oh, you're selling bikes, or you're going to absolutely hate bikes at the end of it.
Yeah.
You're going to go home and you're going to want to switch off. And I'm like, no, that's not a thing. Like, it's just bikes. Bikes is everything. So you come home, you work around them, it's mint, it's brilliant, you natter all day, and then you come home and you work on your bike, or you clean your bike, or you ride your bike, and it's mint. Like, what could you not like about that?
Mega. I mean, you can't argue with that, can you? See,
I can't.
When I left the old Bill, loads of people said to me, "Oh, what are you going to do? You're going to get into bike sales?" And even like my local BMW dealership, they were looking for salespeople, and one of the guys I knew who was leaving there was saying, there could be work coming here, but he said, you end up working here 6 days a week, and you never got any time for the bike, and I just thought, oh no, I'll step away. But that's nice to hear your viewpoint that. Yeah. It's brilliant.
I mean, the time thing, yeah, I can relate to that because you do work long hours in sales.
Yeah.
But, like, obviously getting to ride home after a hard day's work on a bike of your choice, like, eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Oh, is it literally like that? Is it just help yourself?
It is at the new place where I am. But at the minute, when I started, I had a company car.
Yeah.
And on the 31st of March, you're supposed to give it back, and then it's just take whatever bikes you want. But then lockdown happened, so I've got the car on my drive and not a bike in the garage. No bike.
Have you got a road bike? I know you've got the Gixxer, haven't you, as a track bike?
Yeah, so I've got my Triumph. I've got a Street Triple 765 RS, but that is literally just collecting dust at the minute. Like, I feel right sorry for it. But I am getting out on it tomorrow, I think. Just
Happy
for a
days.
little bimble.
Nice.
So I don't think that's seen tarmac properly for about 6 months or so.
God, you're kidding.
No. Just because we've had terrible weather, haven't we? And I'm admittedly a fair weather rider. I'm not ashamed. I've done all that stuff.
Yeah, there's plenty of people like that. Plenty of people. Yeah. So, the track days open up tomorrow. Is it 26th of this month? Is that right? No Limits are opening up a couple of track days. So
guess when my first track day is?
Go on. 26th.
The 26th.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Which one are you doing?
So, Donny.
Oh, I've never done Donny.
Yes. It's good from memory. Like, I think I've done it twice, and I think the last time was like 2018 that I've done it.
Right.
So I'll be very rusty, but I do remember Craner curves and like absolutely falling in love with them. So we'll see how I get on.
I had some mates that they used to race in the No Limits sort of rookie series. And I think two of them in the course of one weekend, two of them came off at Craner's. And one of the boys, he properly did himself. I think it's like a stupid speed crash he had on that. And proper pickled himself.
Yeah, claims a few, didn't it?
Yeah, just a bit. Martin Downs, he's asking, how precious was it working for Harley?
Precious?
Yeah, that's what he's asked.
Explain yourself.
I don't know. Hang on. I think that was a Mickey take because he's then got a second part to his question. On a more serious note, as a rider who has ridden both track and dirt, which do you prefer and which do you think can offer the greatest improvement to a rider's skill during normal day-to-day riding?
Wow. That's a tricky one. So I've tried off-roading and admittedly I suck. Like, I'm terrible. But I love it and I give it a bash. And it's quite funny because I have like my partner called Mike. He's done like some of the world's hardest enduro events, like the Red Bull Erzberg Rodeo and Lagaz in Portugal. So he's like, he can ride off-road to an insane standard. But he doesn't have any patience teaching me. Yeah. Because he just gets like, he's like, why are you not listening? And I'm like, Mike, I am listening, but my brain is telling me that I can't hit that hill at that speed. And he's like, you have to hit the hill at that speed or you will crash. And I'm like, well, I want to crash then. Like, it just won't like sit in my brain. Yeah. So I persevered with it for ages, but we did have some proper barneys at one another. Like, I don't want to like kick his bike down the hill and like have a right strop. So I decided that it was probably best if I tried like track. Yeah. And that's where I found that I absolutely adore it. Do you? Like that is my thing. Like, I love it to bits. But the guy is asking, sorry, what's his name? Martin, yeah. Martin is asking, what do you think you can develop your skills better with? For road riding, road. Yeah. I personally think off-roading. Yeah. Why is that? Yeah. Because the bike's moving around and it teaches you about
The skills.
Moving around, like, you panic less on the road if you lose your ear a bit and you twitch.
Yeah.
Like, you can handle it because you know that feeling. Like, it becomes a bit second nature.
Yeah.
When you're on track, you want them to, like, absolutely pin it. Where can you do that on the road?
Yeah.
What skills are you going to transfer over? It doesn't matter if you can hit 160 on the track. It's pointless.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
So I think, to answer Martin's question, off-roading side is definitely amazing for developing skills. But I just think everyone should try everything that they have an opportunity to try.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you can only build yourself up better by trying different disciplines, I think.
I find I'm a bit like you in that I hate off-roading because I just don't know what I'm doing, and I'm well out my comfort zone. So it's just but on the track, I'm not the world's best at all on the track. But I find on the track that's good for your braking because you can brake a lot harder. On the track than you can on the road. You can lean, you can go into corners a lot quicker on the track because you've got the vision. You don't need to worry about cars coming the other way and stuff. So I do enjoy the track time, definitely. But road riding's for me. That's my favourite.
Yeah. Do you know what? I absolutely adore road riding as well. Like, that's on par with me with track. Like, because you get a different kind of buzz. Like, for me, I like country lanes, 60 mile an hour. You don't necessarily have to break the law because you can take them bends as fast as you can, and you're not breaking any laws, but you're getting a buzz out of it, and that's what I like really enjoy. Yeah, and that gives me as much buzz as when I'm like smashing it out on track and living my best life. So yeah, they're kind of equal, but in different ways.
I
totally kind of like. I like how cheap the road is. Like, don't get me wrong, you've got your insurance, but track days can get hella expensive.
Oh, aye. Have you ever sampled racing? Have you ever put a toe into racing at all?
No. I don't have the skill, nor the time, nor the money.
Yeah, money is just ridiculous.
So, unless the money tree pulls its finger out in the yard.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
My mates they were saying it's, by the time you've done tyres, fuel, your fees for doing the racing, it's round about $1,000 every single weekend. You know, at a budget level, £1,000 a weekend. And you're like, Jesus, literally to burn rubber around a circuit. That's it. But,
it's so funny because when I first started doing track, like, my preferred tyre choice is like a Super Corsa.
Yeah.
So I get my Super Corsa and I'll be riding around and I come in and people be like, God, do you not like use them up dead fast and like you're going through them and you're burning all your money? And I'm like, no, they last me like all season, behave. And then as I started to get faster and actually start to burn through them, now I understand where they were coming from. I get that.
Yeah.
Little naive me.
Was that naive you?
Wobbling round.
Yeah, but it's showing you're actually getting quicker, isn't it? I mean, if you're burning up your tyres, you're going some. Sheesh.
Yeah.
Andy Todd, when selling bikes, do you ever get patronised by men thinking you know nothing? No way, that surely doesn't happen.
In short, yes. So you do get the odd thing. To be fair, there's a lot of good people and a lot don't. But I have had instances, like, when I give like little anecdotes, I'm not going to name any specific company that I was at, but just like things that have happened in the past. Like, this guy, I said, he was debating between two colours. And I was like, to be honest, I'd be happy with any of those like bikes in my garage because they were two exact same bikes in different colour. Yeah. And he looked at me and he casually walked over to the bike and he tapped the pillion seat and he went, well, that don't look right comfy for you, love.
Oh.
And I'm like, let's get on track now.
Yeah.
But yeah, you do get some things. It's almost like there's too many to talk about. Yeah. But for as many bad ones, you get a lot of good ones. You just got to keep smiling, play the game.
Well, you've got to use it to your advantage, I suppose.
Yeah, true. I mean, you do get it where they assume that you don't know anything and then you start talking and then they're like, oh, she's done her research and knows what she's on about. And it's like, then they start to dig a bit deeper. So how long have you been riding? I've been riding 12 years. Oh, crikey. And then it's a bit of a conversation starter. You start to, it's less patronising then, I guess.
Start giving them your lap times from when you've done certain circuits. I'm sure that would make a few of them sit up.
Oh, it's funny. It's funny.
Yeah. Right, what else we got here? Rob Scott. Kate sold me a GS Adventure.
Rob Scott!
Do you remember Rob?
Yes! Shout out to Rob Scott.
Yeah.
Oh, he's an amazing customer.
Oh, he says, your top stuff, he says. Which of the BMW range would you buy and discuss Harley's given Bruce's recent epiphany? Which of the BMW range would you buy and discuss... All right, okay. Yeah, so which of the BMW range would you buy? And then we'll have a wee chat about Harley's.
Okay, so the BMW that I buy... It's tricky at the moment because this is purely based on like aesthetics and specs and stuff, because I haven't actually ridden any of the modern BMWs yet.
Right.
So, because obviously my chance to do that got snatched away by COVID. But aesthetically, I am in love with the R90.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Like we have one in, it might have sold whilst I've been off, like because they're still doing online stuff. But it's the option, I think it's the 719. And it's black and yellow.
Yeah.
And it's stunning. Like I'm at my desk and I'm like, oh hell. Like, I keep looking. And I think like I've been even fantasizing when we've dragged our bikes out of the garage. I'm like, what would it look like? It look good. I can just see it now.
You're gonna have to make sure you get one of them as a demo then.
Yeah, so that's like definitely first on the list.
Nice.
But I would equally love to ride and own an S1000RR because I've never, I've only ever ridden one sports bike, and that was a Gixxer 1000R from Suzuki that they lent me.
Yeah.
And it was just such an experience, but I would love to try the S1000RR, get some good write-ups.
What year was the Gixxer 1000 you rode?
18.
Okay. The new S1000RR, I took out the new GSXR 1000R, and then about 2-3 weeks later last year, I took out the new S1000RR, the sport one.
Yeah.
I mean, I've discussed it before. That bike cost me my job. I lost my job because of that bike, doing the review on that. But I loved it. I absolutely... I love my Gixxers, but that S1000RR is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Yeah. Even on the road, it's insane. So God knows what that's like on track.
I genuinely can't wait. I just want to ride it. And it's quite tall for me, though.
Yeah.
A little short creature.
I was surprised how big it felt, because normally the Gixxers are about the only modern 1,000 litre sports bike that I can get on without feeling like I'm, a big gorilla with the cymbals. It felt reasonably okay for me. But the S1000RR actually felt certainly a lot bigger than the 2010 one, the first one that came out. Much bigger physically. Yeah, it's really comfortable. Yeah, have a shot of one. You'll probably end up buying one.
Can't wait.
So have you never ridden the Boxer engine then? The BMW?
Yes. I took my dad's. Right. He calls it the old girl. Don't know what year it is. And it's an old R1200 or 12 something or other. And it's a massive thing. It's not a GS,
right? But
he's kind of made it a little GS-like, because he's a proper Beamer man. He loves his BMWs. So he's pretty chuffed that I've got this job.
Yeah, I bet.
But I sat on it and it was dead tall, and I revved it and I went, it's got that boxer shake, and I was not expecting it. Yep. That was an interesting ride, especially as it had a misfire. So.
Oh, did it? Jesus.
Yeah.
The big GSs, they're quite refined. They are, by any other bikes, they are quite vibey. But I noticed when I got on the R90, that has the proper, like when you rev, if you rev it, the whole bike shifts.
I've revved it on idle
at
the showroom, and I was like, oh, yeah, it's got it.
Yeah, it does, yeah. It was all right. I only had it for as a courtesy bike whilst the GS was being serviced. But yeah, it was a nice bike. Definitely a nice bike, yeah. Okay, and Harleys, right?
Yes.
What are you thinking of Harleys? You can say now.
I can. So, Harleys, I've never made this a secret. They're not my kettle of fish. But, as far as fishes go, they're all right. Like, I enjoy anything that's got two wheels and an engine. I'll give it a whirl and I'll not knock it.
Yep.
But, as far as owning one, it's just not my thing.
No.
Like, I'd have a 48 with obnoxiously loud pipes and it's got the tiny peanut tank. You get about 70 miles out of that. But I couldn't have it as my only bike because it wouldn't feel like me.
Yeah.
And I always felt a bit of a fraud in that role, selling them.
Yeah.
Because everyone's getting so hyped about them. And I'm loving the fact that I'm helping sell them their dream. Yeah. It's like a bucket list thing for a lot of Harley owners.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what made me enjoy selling them, because people are so in love with them. And it made me feel good that I could be that person to give them that joy.
Yeah, I get you, yeah.
But as far as is it my favourite style of bike, cruisers and stuff like that?
No. See, I kind of almost a bit like the GS, because GSs were never on my radar. In fact, none of the adventure bikes were ever on my radar. I was just sports bike, Gixxer, that was me. And then I obviously did sort of just fall for the big adventure bikes. And then Harley was the same. Never, ever, ever even contemplated riding a Harley. And then a mutual friend had been on at me for a couple of years, he works at Guildford Harley, and he was like, come and just try one. Just come and give it a shot and see what you think. So I went, and he gave me that big, is it the Sports Glide? The big, massive, huge thing?
Oh, a Street Glide.
Street Glide.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I still got it.
Yeah, you got it. He gave me the sort of fob for that, and I was like, this thing's the size of an Arctic truck with your feet out the front as well. I'd never ridden with my feet out the front, and
forwards.
It was crazy. It was like a switch went off, and I just fell in love. And I was like, not with the bike. I don't think the bike's particularly good looking, but just the whole experience of riding it. It's like this isn't normally on a bike. I'm trying to make progress all the time. I get the thrill out of going quick and leaning at the corner, and all of a sudden I'm on a Harley just chugging down the road, being overtaken sometimes, and I'm loving every second of it. And it was like, this is different. I wasn't expecting this.
No, the thing that I kind of like about Harleys, in the sense when I took one out, I rode a 48, and I've got a video on my YouTube where I'm riding it, and I'm taking over my sort of territory, it's my lanes, not my lanes, but I know them like the back of my hand.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, there's just something satisfying about riding an inappropriate bike fastish.
Yeah.
Not saying that I was like, but there's something nice about scraping the pegs a little bit as you're hooning on a bit. And I like the fact that when I pulled up at the sort of bike meet, everyone's like, oh, that sounds mint.
Yeah,
and I'm like, yeah, I know, I'm on it, I know. But, and just cruising along, and it's it's just noisy and obnoxious, and it's there.
Yeah.
And that is that's a whole vibe in itself. That is awesome. But then I get back on my, sort of leery little street triple, and I'm like, the induction sound of the triple, and I'm like, I like this as well. So.
Yeah. So I've never ridden a triple. I've only ridden the Tigers and the Triumph. I've never ridden the street triple or the I'm just sorting something out with Triumph at the moment, but I'm hoping to get a shot of the street and the speed, because loads of my mates have them, and I've just never chucked my leg over them, and they all love them.
Yeah. Cool. You should. It's a good experience.
Well, Mike on a bike, I think we've pretty much covered what he's asked. He said, do you miss the whole Harley encompassing thing, like the lifestyle, the hog chapters and all that malarkey?
I never got massively engrossed in the hog lifestyle.
Right.
Because I couldn't, because I didn't have a Harley, and they're all so passionate, and I took my Harley to Belgium and I took it here, and I'm just like, I just sell them, guys.
Yeah.
So I kind of tried to I would have felt even more of a fraud by trying to infiltrate the hog guys and the chapter members, because I'm just somebody that's got a Triumph, a Gixxer, a Suzuki, a Triumph, and a bloody Beta in the garage. So none of them are Harleys. And I used to get that all the time. It's like, what, you sell them and you don't ride them? And I just say, I've got a pick of the bunch. I don't need to own one.
Well, that's true though, isn't it? Yeah.
I'm being economical, So that's how I kind of got out of that one.
Yep.
But yeah, I get it, and I get why people like it, and there's a sense of community, and people just seem to really, really love it, and fair play to them.
Yeah, they do, It seems to be real social. I noticed that. They just, they have big meets, and as you said, they go all over Europe, don't they, to all different chapters and stuff. Mental.
Yeah, like when I first started, I had this like really bad misconception that they were all going to be like Hell's Angels and Devil's Disciples.
They're all
and
accountants, aren't they?
Well, we got a few back patches in and they all seem pretty nice, you know, no dramas or anything. Yeah. But there was this one group, and I really hope that they watch you because I just love them. And they were called the Mild Hogs, right? Not the Wild Hogs, the Mild Hogs. Right. And I think the age ranged between like 60 and 80.
Yeah.
And they'd go for rides on Sundays and stop off at cafes for lattes. And I'm just like, I want to be in the Mild Hogs. Like, hit me up when you go out. And I was just like, man, they're living the best life. Like, what more can you want? Like, I want to be part of that.
The Mild Hogs, awesome. I love that. If you're watching, leave a little comment below. That would be awesome.
Yes, please do. Although I'm not sure they know how to use a computer. No, I'm only kidding. I'm kidding.
Andrew Scott, well, we've pretty much covered this. Is being an influencer a proper job? You hate that term, don't you?
I just heard that word and threw up a little bit in my mouth.
Go on, go on. What are you thinking?
It isn't a proper job, or at least in my experience. Maybe there is a way to make it a proper job that I'm just missing. Like, especially if we're talking about the Instagram side of things. Like, I know with YouTube and your ads and stuff, you can make some cash money.
No.
Even if it's minimal.
Yeah.
You know, like you've got to be getting like millions of views and stuff for that.
Yeah.
But no, it's just the simple answer. Like for me, like, I mean, bloody hell, I can't influence anyone, can I?
I think you'd be surprised. I think you would be surprised.
Do you know what? If I can influence some more gals and ladies to throw the leg over and you know, get into biking, or even guys, like that's mint.
Yeah.
But is it being a proper job? No, it's just something that I do on the side that I enjoy, and just put it up there. And if people like it, they like it. If they don't, it's up there for me. I can look back at it in 5 years and be like, oh, that was a mint holiday.
Yeah.
If it's got like 2 views, I don't care.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think that is. I think A, it's the healthiest way to approach it, and B, personally, I think that's the best way to approach it. And if something comes of it, I never started this thinking this is my full-time job now, and I never, even sort of halfway through last year, I never thought this would be a full-time job at all.
Yeah.
But I think as long as you don't bank on it becoming your job, as long as you enjoy it and you put your everything you want to put in, whether that is you put up one vid or one post a month or every 6 months, or you're putting up 10 posts a day, whatever you want to be doing, just do that. And if it's right for you, it will develop, won't it? You know, like you'll get your own little community that will naturally be attracted to you. And with that comes certain opportunities that may or may not lead to a job or, you know, a different life, who knows? Yeah. And there definitely seems to be two camps at the moment. Do you find it like on social media you've got sort of a YouTube camp and an Instagram camp? Do you find that? And it seems to be that unless you're a big celeb, you either have a following on YouTube and nothing really to speak of on Insta, or you have a massive one on Insta and either they don't bother or they were only really just starting on YouTube. Seems to be one or the other at the moment.
It really does. It's like, it's just an audience thing, isn't it? Like you can have people with like crazy amounts of followers on you, like not followers, subscribers on YouTube, and then like not many on Instagram, and sort of vice versa. I don't have sort of many in the grand scheme of things on Instagram. Like I wouldn't say like 14,000 followers is a lot on Instagram, especially as a female, because I'm just going to be straight with you. Being a female on Instagram who rides bikes, it's just an instant recipe for people following you because they like it. It's what people like. So in reality, I don't have that many. Like you get some girls out there and, you know, they are doing their thing. They're like hustling. They've got like 40,000, 50,000, 60, 90. And I'm just there with my little 14. But you know what I like about my 14? Is that they comment and they're engaged.
Absolutely.
We have chats.
Absolutely.
And it's not throwaway emojis. and like Hermosa, Linda, like you get like on a lot of things. And that's what I like. And if it means that I've got 14,000 of those kind of people, then whether it was 14 or 30 or whatever, as long as they're there because they're into the bike side of things and they want to see the track footage and they want to see what's happening. I like that. Not just because they want the pound of flesh, because I ain't giving it to them. I got morals.
Good on you. And I got to admit, I do like that about your profile. Is it, as you said, it would be, you're a good looking woman, and it would be really easy for you to, put on certain clothing and chuck a picture up, and you will get a lot of followers from it. And I like that, you sort of concentrate on the bike side of things and the track riding and the person. And as you said, that works for you because you're following the engage, definitely. And when you chat to the marketing people, they know that. They can see the difference. A mile off, they can see that difference.
Yeah. But I just want to be like one of the lads, part of the gang, and I don't put myself on any kind of pedestal. Like, I just go riding with them. We rip the piss out of each other. Yeah. It's all good. It's all gravy.
Absolutely. Don't get me wrong. If I was like some hunk and I was all cut, I would be showing everything I've got. But, I'm too...
But you know what? Like, I love it. It's the fact that, like, you and Lamb Chop Rides and Baron and Alistair, you're not... You guys can do it by just being guys, wearing normal clothes like normal humans. Why should you not be able to do that as a girl?
Absolutely.
Like, and still. Yeah. So, like, it's motivation to not sort of let your morals go out the window. And, like, because if you guys can do it and you're respected, and, like, I love seeing that people constantly comment on your stuff, and they want a conversation, or they want to offer advice, or they want advice given to them.
Yeah.
And I like that, and that's kind of what I'm striving for. As
awesome.
Tacky as that sounds.
It's not at all. No, that's awesome. It's just I like. I'm very much like, I don't care what sex someone is. Whoever they want to be that day. I'm not fussed. I don't care what colour you are. I don't care what religion you've got. It's you just take people as they are, don't you? And
exactly.
I want to be treated like that, and I'll treat everyone else like that. So to me, I don't care about any of the other bullshit, and thankfully I don't really need to worry about it. So yeah. Cool. Right. Next, that's a bit deep. John Gore. As a BMW K1600 GTL owner, I love the bike. It's been round Scotland, Picos several times, and several other European countries. Why are they as rare as rocking horse shit on the second-hand market?
Because they're just so awesome that people don't want to sell them. Must be that.
Have you had a shot at the K1600 yet?
No.
You've not?
And it scares me. I'll not lie.
It's a big weapon. That bike is fast.
It's a Bertha. Like, it's not... It's the slow speeds and the putting the feet down. Yeah. And because it's not mine. If it were mine, it wouldn't be an issue. Yeah. But you don't want to be that person that's like, "Hi, sorry, I snapped this on the bike." Like, don't get me wrong, it will happen, because, like, they've said that to me. Like, people, like, staff that take it out, they will get dropped. Just wants to be honest with them. And that's fine, because I'm the first person to be like, "I messed up." Like, I'm not quite hiding anything. But I think it is. I probably will get on one at some point, but especially the GTR. Like, that's the one with the big old box on the back.
Yep.
Like, it's basically the equivalent of a sort of an Ultra Harley Davidson with the big panels in the box.
Yeah.
But this one's got a reverse gear, which you'd expect with the weight. But I don't know, like, we've got a few in at Williams in Manchester, or we did have before,
Yeah, the C word hit, yeah. I took a whole load of lads from my old job to the Picos in Spain, and one of the lads there, he'd always had GSs. I think he'd had like 6 GSs. So just this one time he thought, "Do you know what, I fancy a change." And he turned up on one of these, on these big K1600s. Yeah, and
imagine switchbacks on them.
Well, this is the thing. We were like, we are going to some of the twistiest mountain roads ever, and we're like, "What are you doing on that bus?" Because he's a good rider. He is naturally talented rider, and then he's like police advanced and all that malarkey. And we just thought, oh God, he's not going to enjoy this. Oh my God, that thing was welded behind me in the twisties. And then when we let him go, he just had this thing canked right over. Typical old Bill rider, bolt upright like this. And he was practically scraping the sides of the thing down. And
just goes to show that it's all to do with the rider.
It is, absolutely. Yeah, he loved it. Absolutely loved it. He did trade it in within a year for another GS though, I've got to say. But he loved the bike. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, once it's bit you, that's it. Johnny Hackinson, question for both of us.
Ooh.
Do you think super sport bikes are size-wise more suitable for women riders and therefore a better choice than an adventure bike? Well, I'll let you go first, seeing as you are a lady girl.
Tell that to Rossi. Tell that to bloody Jorge Lorenzo. Aren't they small? I'm pretty sure they're short.
Rossi's not. Rossi's 6.
Is he not? Is he small?
Yeah, Rossi's like 6'2", I think.
Oh, well, eat my words.
But I mean, he's about 4 stone soaking wet, but he's about 6'2", I think. 6'1", 6'2".
Yeah, but there are a lot of sort of small people that ride sports bikes and stuff.
Yeah.
But so, what was the question? It was...
Do we think super sport bikes are size-wise more suitable for women than adventure bikes?
I get what you're saying. Like, I sat on a GS at work, albeit it was on its centre stand, but there was about a metre from the floor to my legs, my foot dangling. And, but then, like, taking BMW as a brand example, like they're doing like the lower suspension, the seat height reduced, they're doing the low seats. So it is becoming more accessible to women. We can get tall women as well.
Of course you do.
Spank around on beamers, no problem.
Yeah.
But you know what I think the biggest thing about being short is you can ride most things, you've just got to own it in your head.
Yeah.
And if you do drop it, got to laugh at yourself because otherwise it'll just crush you. So own it, have the confidence, I can do this, I'm the boss of you, you're not the boss of me. Jump on it, and then you've got half a chance of riding it and not dropping it.
Absolutely.
You're not second guessing yourself or doubting yourself, and that's when the little mistakes happen.
Yeah. Do you know, it's one of the most popular questions that people private message me about bikes is, I'm such and such a height, do you think I'd be okay on it? And I'm like, for starters, I'm 6'3" and 20 stone. I am not the bloke to be asking if that bike's going to fit a 5'3", 9 stone geezer. Do you know what I mean? I'm like,
and also, like, I could get a guy come in who's the same height as me, but his leg length's tiny. He's a long torso.
Yeah.
And that makes all the difference. Yep. So if you're long limbed, you'll probably be all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's tricky. I'd just say test ride them.
Absolutely.
Make sure you.
I think you hit the nail on the head there, didn't you? It's confidence. As long as you're confident in the head, then the chances are you're not going to make the silly mistakes that you make handling a bike. It's when you're at a standstill. That's when all the issues come, innit? Is when you go to put your foot down, and the ground isn't where you think it's going to be.
Yeah, that sucks. But it's like, for me, where my sort of confidence come from is like I have a partner called Mike, and he's very sort of fluid with his bikes. Take it. And I'm like, sure. And he's like, yeah, take it. So we're like that with each other now. If he wants nipped at shop, he's like, take it, Triumph. Yeah, no worries.
Nice.
And he had a Hyper Motard, an 821. And it was the one which was like all satin black with a red frame, proper aggressive look. Oh, you've seen the picture, yeah, because you posted it.
That's right.
And that is 870 mil, that seat height.
Jeez. That's big.
So if it was an SP, it'd be another 2 centimetres, it'd be an 890 mil. But still, 870 for me, like, it's a horse. It's a Shire horse, basically. And Mike was like, take it out. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, you'll be fine. And I'm like, no, I won't. And he's like, just take it out. Yeah. What's the worst that happens? You drop it. I'm not asked, we'll just fix it. And I was you'll learn things when you ride bikes that are almost a bit inappropriately big for you, because you think it's all about acceleration sense when you come up to lights, and you're constantly thinking, like I found that the bike was really aggressive, like on the clutch and throttle when it was in like the sports modes and stuff. So as I was like going through like massive junctions with traffic lights and like big sort of roundabouts, I was making sure I was in the mode with the least power, you know, just to help me. And then when we got on like an open road, I'd switch it again and, you know, off you go. But I don't think I'd probably be where I am if I didn't have somebody like Mike rooting and letting me understand my limitations and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The thing is, if you're going to be short, you've got to be confident and you've got to know that if you drop it, you might have to fix it. And it's just one of them things.
Yeah.
But
how tall are you?
5'4".
5'4". Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, all right.
And a half.
So not minute, and a half. Yeah, makes all the difference, counts. Allegedly.
Yeah. There are a lot of girls that are a lot smaller than me, like, and my heart does go out to them because, like, at 5'4", I can think, Jesus, this is bloody tall. So they must, like, my heart honestly goes out to them. But it is just mind over matter, confidence, crack on, hope for the best, plan where you're parking.
My mate, wee Si, funnily enough, he's sort of vertically challenged, and he's very much like that. He just jumps on anything, absolutely anything. He just jumps on it, and it doesn't matter. I'll take it.
Yeah.
And you do think to yourself, go fair play to him, because I think if the shoe was on the other foot, I don't know if I would be as confident as he is straight off the bat. You know, just straight away. Yeah, no problem. I'll have that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Right, Johnny, I hope that's answered your question, pal. Right. Ashley Wright. They say he's a huge fan of yours.
Of me?
Yeah. Oh, right. There's no actual question. He just says, there is something gorgeous about women riding bikes. Don't tell my wife. We'll leave it at that. All right.
He's not wrong.
Yeah. We've got Andy Bowen. That's Motorbike Tour. I've seen Motorbike Tour on Instagram. He said he saw you at Cadwell. You're a good rider, very smooth. It was piss wet, and it was your first time using wets.
Yes.
Which track is your favourite and why?
Oh, tricky one. Like, I do have a massive love for Anglesey because it's so scenic, it's so wide, it's so flowing, but it's got lots going for it. I would have said that my favourite track was Rockingham, but that's closed or closing, so it's pointless because no one can go there now because that's a lot of lefts and I love a left, like a nice juicy left, and like my world is made. But yeah, Anglesey definitely, like I adore Anglesey, it's amazing. And that Cadwell, the time that he's talking about, was my first time at Cadwell, like he said, and I think we got 1.5 sessions and it was chucking it down. And then the fog came in and it was red flagged and the marshals couldn't see each other, so they had to cancel it.
Jeez.
And we were just waiting and it was just like, sorry guys, we can't let you out. So that was a massive trek to Cadwell. We stayed in a hotel overnight, got 1.5 sessions, red flag, go home, and it was just like, So yeah.
So you've never been back? You never got a chance to go back and do Cadwell?
I cannot wait. Slightly petrified of the mountain because I'm not a wheelier. Like, the only time I'm wheeling is by absolute error somewhere. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
me too.
The mountain, it just throws you up if you hit it at any sort of speed. But thankfully I didn't get to do that because it was just chucking it down. I was like, nope. Just roll over. The thing
with the mountain is it's got like a double apex on the hill, isn't it? So you think you've hit it, and there's another one straight after it.
Bump, and like so your wheel comes up like after, and it's like So that makes you a bit apprehensive. But then there's like a bit of a flip flop like straight after the mountain, and that from memory was absolutely beautiful. But it is a really narrow track, so if it's like your first track day, probably wouldn't advise Cadwell just because. It's very technical, very narrow. And God, when I first went there, I looked up and it was almost like a moment because it's like that. Like when you stand at the cafe and you look, it's like, oh my God, it's like a mountain. Not like the mountain bit, but like literally. And then I was really, really apprehensive. But when I got on it, I was like, yeah, it's okay. Deep breaths.
My mates at race, they all said that. They said it's so much fun.
Yeah.
So much fun. They said it's almost like 2 separate circuits. You've got the back end after the mountain, which is like a go-kart track, and then the sort of open bit that goes way off out into the meadow.
Yeah.
They said that's just like a separate circuit almost. Yeah.
I can relate.
Yeah, it looks fun.
It's good.
Andy's also asked, what would be your perfect track bike if you could have anything, money no object?
Oh, God, that is such a tricky one because I'm always so torn in the fact that I'd love to take 1,000 on track, but I know that it'd probably be wasted on me. And I almost enjoy the lesser power bikes because I know where I'm at with them. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I know when it's coming to the red line, and I know when I need to be shutting off and braking, and I know how far I've got to play with them. But with like a thou, like I'd love to see how I'd react. So I don't know whether I would say a thou because I've not experienced it. So I don't know whether I'd like it or not, or whether it'd be a bit too like sort of high side city for me. Do you know what I mean? Getting a bit leery on power coming out of the bend. So I don't know. Like I love my Gixxer. Like I love it to bits. But oh man, I don't know. I can't answer that. Like genuinely can't. There's just too many nice ones out there.
Because there's a couple. Is it Claudia's got the R1?
Yes.
And then
oh my gosh,
it's R1 Liz. R1 Liz as well.
Yeah, Claudia has got my dream like R1. If I was to have one, her bike is the epitome of everything that should be. And she's just put an Austin Racing on it because she was going to do a Euro.
Oh, God,
and there was no like DB sort of testing.
And
oh my God, like I'm really sorry if my parents are watching this, but you need to get a wet floor sign out because that sound is
what
something
do you mean?
else. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. It's clearly this. But no,
that's that trailer. Nice one. Thank you.
Yeah. No, but honestly, like she put a YouTube video on of like a flyby, and it was just like, oh, and somebody commented in the comments like, if you had a bike near me that was that loud, I'd want to move away. And I'm like, I want to find out where she lives and move next door. Like,
was that with the Austin Racing can on it?
Yeah.
They are stunning, Austin Racing.
Just that cross-plane engine with a dirty exhaust and a decat. Yeah. Sounds like a full-blown race bike.
Yeah, it does.
It just like gets your heart pumping. Like you just want to be on it. So maybe a dream track bike, I'd like to pinch Claudia's and just see what it feels like. But
I had a Tuono, the V4 Tuono 2014 one, and I had the Austin Racing GP1 can on it with no baffle. So it's like that.
Yeah, it's just like what?
Oh my! I mean, even my mates who are a bit hooligans, they were like that thing's too loud, because it was just I never used to wear earplugs ever, never ever wore them, and the whole time I had the Tuono I never wore earplugs, but I had every time I finished riding that thing, wherever I got to at the end of it, I had a banging sore head, but it stirs you from the inside out, you know, with the vibration. It's phenomenal.
Amazing.
I miss that engine and that can.
Yeah.
Right, Nick Turnbull. I think we're probably going to get quite a few questions along this line. How can we get more women into racing? Surely it's a sport where men and women can compete on level terms, and as a salesperson, how can you influence more women into motorcycling in general?
I don't have the answers. Like, it's a tricky one. Like, with regards to racing, it's just the law of numbers. Like, you go on a track day, and you'd be lucky if there's like 4 women there. Yeah. Like, out of hundreds of guys. And unfortunately, it's just kind of what it is at the moment. Now, whether that'll change, I don't know, because I think a lot is done. Like, I'm in lots of Facebook groups, like, that are dedicated to like women motorcyclists. And I think people don't realise that there's actually a lot. There's so many of them like around the world, but it's just I don't know. I can't answer it, because obviously money comes into play. So you could be the quickest girl on the earth, but if you've not got the funds to race, so you're not going to race, are you? Yeah. And with all the sponsorship on on the earth. You know, things change, you lose sponsorships, someone goes to someone else, something happens. It's tricky.
Yeah.
It's a hard one to get into that, because it runs, it's like societal issues, like everything comes out, and like the sort of stereotype that women are just pillions or backpacks, as the derogatory term goes. But it's one of them, and it is changing. Like, but I think as well, did they say something about selling bikes to women? Was that part of this question?
Well, no, as a salesperson, how can you influence more women into biking in general, not just racing?
Yeah, like, I think salesmen or salespeople, like, really need to empower women when they come in. So when a girl comes in with a guy, I'll speak to him like the girl rides, like the guy rides. I don't make the assumption that it's the guy and go to the guy. And I think a lot of people should like try and tweak the mindset to just think that anybody is a potential buyer. And then say like a woman's been thinking about riding but hasn't, and they're greeted with a salesman that comes in and like, oh, you're looking at a bike, what's your ride? Oh, I don't at the moment. But they feel like they can, because they've asked them, like, what do you ride? They must think I ride. I can do it. So I think that you can take steps that way, just to sort of treat everyone as an equal, as like, you know, not just focus on a guy because you think that's going to line your pockets as a salesperson. Yeah. Like, always have the open mind.
What got you into biking then?
My dad.
Was it?
Yeah. So my dad was in the police for 30 years as a traffic cop on bikes.
Oh, okay.
So makes him a little less of a bastard. I know he's watching this, he'll have a laugh at that. But it was like normal to just be around him. So I didn't like think, oh wow, a bike. It was just like, there's a bike next to the house. Like, and there's pictures of me of like a wee tot with my little BMW bob hat on, with little brand in there. And I'm there with a sponge, like, just probably not even old enough to speak. So I guess like he kind of got me into it, but he was never into like the off-road side of things. It was all, you're going to do this the right way, moped at 16, 125 at 17, you'll learn your gears. It's very structured like that. So as soon as like I was 16, he actually got an auction moped that had been like, you know, seized or something like that. Probably picked it up like dirt cheap. It was horrendous. Like, no offence, Dad, but your taste, I hope it's got better. It was a Boatian. I don't even know what brand that is or if I'm saying it right. No. And it was blue and it had flame stickers coming up the side.
Sounds nice.
Oh, man. And then it were a feral little thing. It was so slow as well, like do about like 27 mile an hour downhill. Yeah. And that's just kind of how it all started. And then after that, I got a little 125, a Yamaha TW. Right, yeah. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's like got a tiny tank and a really awkward, big, fat rear tyre. and then I ended up swapping that with one of his police mates for a CBR 125 in like Repsol colours. Yeah. And then it just kind of went from there. But I've always been around him and I've always gone pilly. Like, he used to pick me up from high school. And I used to feel like the baddest bitch on the playground.
I bet, yeah, like, on the back of the bike.
Oh, sorry guys, my dad's here on the bike. And I'd like run up to it and like jump off and like everyone would be going, whoa, because like no one got picked up from school on a bike. Yeah. And I was just like, yeah, this is the life. So yeah, it's just always been about it. So it's my mum's not into him though.
Oh, is she not?
My mum hates the fact that I ride. Like, she loves the fact that I've got a sister who's not into bikes in the slightest. Like, she's like the angel child. And like, she's like, no, you don't need to ride a bike. And Hannah's like, oh, okay. Like, not bothered. Yeah. But my mum, she's like, she has kittens every time I go out. She can't even wave me off. She's like, right, I'll just say bye to you now. She won't even watch me ride off.
It's weird. My mum was always anti-bike. She was always really anti-bike, and I just, you know, so as such, bikes weren't even on my horizon as a kid or growing up or anything. And then, you know, the story is that it was my mum that got me to actually do my bike test before she died. She was just like, you've always wanted to do it, so don't regret what you've not done. Go for it, live your life. And it's just funny that it was her that kick-started the whole thing, really.
Yeah. Well, once upon a time, my mum was into bikes, not riding, but pillion with my dad.
Uh-huh.
And like before I was born, she used to go on back, and they went around like Europe, and they loved Germany and stuff like that. And they got back to England, and they weren't far from the house, and an old guy pulled out on him on a roundabout and knocked him off. Oh. And then I think my mum hurt her back from that, and I don't think, like, she still like grumbles about it to this day, and I think that massively put her off. I don't think she got on a bike, especially after having kids.
Yeah,
because she's got this mentality that like she wouldn't want to be on the bike with dad if anything happened.
Yeah, I know a lot of couples like that with kids. Yeah.
So when my sister, who's 3 years younger than me, when she turned 18. It was like, oh, come on, Mum, we're grown up now. Like, get on back, get it back. So we kitted her out, because I used to work at the Rocket Centre in Blackburn, and before it closed, there was like massive sales. So we got her kitted out in all like these awesome textiles and boots. They still sat there in the wardrobe, never worn. So, Mum, if you're watching this, pull your finger out, get on back at bike, and go and have a good time.
That's it, definitely, go for it. Cool. Right, next one. God, we've got loads of questions here. You've been a popular guest.
I'm pretty sozzled right now.
Oh yeah, good effort.
It only takes like that much. I'm gone. Cheat day.
I was going to say that, and I thought, no, I'll not say anything. Mike Phillipson, hi Kate. How big an impact on new sales do you think there will be this year due to the C word? And will BMW and other big names have to offer crazy deals and incentives later in the year to help boost sales?
Probably. Which is sad for me as a salesperson. I don't want to be living off beads on toast and for next week, trying to keep the lights on and stuff.
Yeah.
But no, I think that like the amount of inquiries like my dealership's been getting while we're short has been phenomenal.
Is it?
Yeah. Like, I think, if anything, the C word has kind of made people think, life's too short. I want that new bike.
Yeah.
I want it, and I want to ride it, and I want my freedom, and I can't. And they want something to look forward to, and who can blame them?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think that bike sales will eventually... I don't know how like for like on year, like back end of the year, it's going to look sales wise, but I know that the staff, we're going to be playing catch up massively, I think. And I'm quite scared to go back. I'll be candid about that.
Oh, yeah.
Purely because I have now been off longer than I've been employed, like was working.
Yeah.
And compared to Harley, like selling them, the pace, oh my goodness, it was something else. It's like the amount of inquiries and the amount of sales, because obviously it's not as niche of a product. Like you're going to get a GS because you can ride it all year round. You're not going to buy something that's full of chrome to ride all year round.
Yeah.
So it was a bit of a oh my God, like wake up call. And along with all the new processes I had to learn, like, don't get me wrong, I think I did a good job, or I was doing a good job, and to the best of my ability, I was really trying. But it's going to be like, I'm just learning it all again when I go back.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for it, but I'm also bricking it at the same time. But my new boss is absolutely sound, and I know that he'll get me through it. So
absolutely, yeah, you'll be fine. I'm sure you'll be fine.
We'll be all right.
Yeah, be yourself, and you'll be fine. But with BMW, I mean, I don't imagine it takes. I don't mean this derogatory. Please don't think that. But no. I don't. With BMW, everyone I know who's always worked there have said you don't really have to do too much selling because people come in, the bike's already sold. They want that bike.
Now the selling is the easy bit.
Yeah.
The paperwork,
right.
however, is the hard bit. There's masses of it. There's all legislation nowadays. You've got to treat customers fairly. Oh, yeah. Finance, you've got to make sure you discuss all your options. You've got to... There's numerous hurdles that you have to jump over, and you have to tick boxes, and they're really important, because if you don't tick them boxes, you can get your company in a lot of trouble. Like, again, with all GDPR and stuff like that. Like, the world has gone mad, and it has had such an impact on the process of businesses. So the selling bit, like you say, that's easy. You know, they've done the research, they come to me, they just want a nice person who's friendly and efficient, and I'll hand it over, and that's all they want. But then when that's been done, the paperwork side of it, you're trying to do new deals, but then that's mounting, and then that's mounting, and it's a lot. Yeah. Like, people don't realise.
Well, it's going to be all hands to the deck, isn't it, when you get back?
Yes.
Yeah, I had Chris and Al on from 4 Teeth, and they were really pessimistic about the future of the bike industry because of Corona. And
I'm the opposite, I think.
I've got to admit, I'm definitely in that camp. I kind of think it's gone on long enough for people to be, people have been affected bad. Some people have been affected really badly financially.
Of course,
I totally get that, and I appreciate we're not really going to see the main impact on the economy for another 6 to 12, 18 months or whatever. But I think, as you said, people have had that sort of wake-up moment, haven't they? And it's like, would you know what? YOLO, we've got to, let's go for it. I'm going to enjoy myself. So as long as they're putting a roof over the head and they can cover bills, I think people who do have that money to play with are still going to be like, well, I'm going to have my toy.
Yeah.
So,
and you know what? It doesn't necessarily have to be a new bike. Like, there's something for everyone's budget. Like, you know, whether you've got £1,000 to spend or you've got 20 grand to spend plus, you know, there's something for everyone. And you can't take away that feeling of freedom on a bike, whether it costs you £1,000 or extra. So, I think it'll be all right. I think we'll bounce back, personally. But I'm always optimistic.
Good, that's the way to be. That's definitely the way to be. It's there's enough people out there, isn't there, to bring the world down and say why you can't do things. So the only one that's going to make it happen is you. So I'm very much in that camp. Glass half full. Let's get cracking.
That's it.
Right, Andrew, the biker bug. Hi, Bruce and Kate. What do you think? Oh, we've already had this. So I don't. I try not to read the questions beforehand, just so that you know they're sort of as much of a surprise to me as you.
You could be like me and accidentally answer them all on Instagram.
I saw that on Insta. Yeah.
Oh, it weren't my brightest moment, but I've got this hair dye for a reason. It's my get out of jail free card.
Right, Andrew's pretty much asking exactly what's already been asked. What do we think it would take to get more women into biking? What does he think about lighter bikes, smaller bikes, all that? We've pretty much covered that. Right, Matt Rowe Designs. She thinks is old. Are you intending on making more YouTube videos to build your channel?
Hells to the yeah. Like, I've been putting a conscious effort in with lockdown happening. I thought, you know what, I've got all the time. I'm not at work. So let's try and be productive, because I need something to keep me in some kind of routine. Yeah. And I think it has been the fire that's been lit that has kind of made me think, well, you know what? Like, you get a buzz when you put a video out, and you get a buzz with people, like, you know, talking, and you get to speak with them. So just do some more. Like, just do more. So I'm actively trying. I'm going to build it. I'm going to get there.
Good. Do it.
Maybe not quite 40,000 like you, Bruce. But
honestly, you'd be surprised. You would be surprised how quickly these things can grow. I mean, it is graft. I'll not get away from the fact. There's very few people out there that are lucky to put one video out and they get, 1 million views or something like that. But it does happen. But I mean, you're a very personable person. You're easy to talk to. You've got a very likable manner. You would do really well. Oh. Go for it.
Thank you.
No worries, no problems. Dave Hemmings. That's another one. Do you think women are underrepresented in the bike industry? Here we go. It's a good one. Andrew Scott. Oh, blimey, this is a deep one. When you die, what do you want your last words to be?
Whoa!
I don't think that's a death threat. I'm pretty sure it's not. But what would you like your last words to be?
Probably be my social media block list applies to my funeral.
Do you have a lot of issues on social media?
No, I don't have too many, to be fair. But I do have a substantial block list. But I don't take shit.
Good. It's the way to be.
So, but no, I don't know what my last words would be. It'd probably be something sappy and gushy like, tell all my family I love them. Something like that. Because I'm a proper family person. So
oh, yeah.
Probably that, yeah.
Yeah.
Big time family girl.
Good. There's not much else really in life, is there? It's kind of all you've got.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, he's already guessed mine. Look at that. Haggis, for Kate, how would you compare the Harley-Davidson line to BMW in terms of quality and value for money?
Ooh.
Oh, thank you, dear. Thanks very much. Yeah, of course. Sorry.
Thank
you very much. So, the wife's brought me some beer. Happy days.
What an angel.
Yeah, she is. She's a good girl.
Good. Oh, man. It's tricky. I mean, they're both technically like premium brands, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they both come with a bit of a price tag attached to that, I would say. Build quality and stuff like that. Oh man, I feel like I don't know enough about BMWs yet. Like, you could probably answer that more than me because I don't have any experience. Like, I will see it over time, like what comes in for like warranty claims, but I don't feel kind of experienced enough to sort of answer it.
Right. With BMW, for the sort of the attitude I take towards bikes is I kind of think I expect something to go wrong. I'm not, because I ride the bike pretty much every day in all weathers. Yeah. Something's going to go wrong.
Technology's advancing.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah. There's so much electronics in a bike, and it's an engine. At the end of the day, it's an engine.
Unless it's a Harley.
Well,
there's not much electronics.
Yeah. No, I saw one that had that big street lights. They
had all the toys.
They had all the toys.
They're getting better. They are.
But for me, it's all about customer service.
How it's handled.
Absolutely, yeah. So when something does go wrong, what service do you get? And what I love about BMW is something goes wrong on the bike, or I need it serviced. I phone them up. Yeah, no problem at all, Mr. Smart. No problem. Do you need a courtesy bike? Yeah, okay. What would you like? I take it in and I say, when do you need the bike back? And they said, well, don't worry about it. We'll give you a shout when the bike's ready. And it's just as simple as that. Whereas my experience with Gixxers, well, no, we haven't got a courtesy bike. Or if they do, they give you some shitty little 125, 20 stone, 6'3". What? Seriously? And it's a case of, I don't know when that bike comes back if they've actually done the service on it. Have they done the work on it? Whereas with BMW, I get a little video to show me them working on it, and it's just like, I'm happy to pay for that, no problem.
Yeah. So I can only speak from what I have seen so far, but from what I know, where I work at Williams, which is in Manchester, like, they are so customer focused to the point where it's almost a little bit obsessive compulsive, which is not a bad thing for the customer. We have, like, when I last looked, 18 demo bikes on the list, and I, as a salesperson, will have a choice of eeny, meeny, miny, moe, what, providing it's not out with the customer. But the fact that there's that much choice, and if a customer's bike's in, like you say, you get to take this bike out and stuff like that, and we do the whole video thing, and it's so efficient. It is just a German efficiency that I've noticed. Whether it's a bit of Williams efficiency, because they are very proud and they do get incredible results throughout all the dealerships in the country. They're so proud of their reputation. Maybe it's something to do with that, but it is very sort of Germanic. And it's nice. It makes everything, there's a lot more work involved when it comes to keeping customers so happy. But they do it well, and that's why they get insane reviews. So they're doing something right.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, go on.
Sorry. I was just going to say, from a Harley point of view, it's tricky. It's like you say, a lot of things will go wrong, and it's how you deal with it. But they've always sorted the recalls out. I think the hardest bit with Harley was they had a bit of a stock system change.
Right.
And I know a lot of people that have Harleys had ordered parts before Christmas, and still hadn't come by like sort of when I was leaving, like late Feb.
Oh, jeez.
But it was just a stocking issue where they turned off one stock system in America or something, or in Europe, and it didn't load up when they find the new one.
Right.
So it's like, what have they got? So that was like process side of things, not the best. But when I worked there, you know, the reliability isn't as like people make out. People make out like they're terrible and they fall to bits. Like, everything has a problem. Sometimes if something's not been lacquered properly, they might have a bit of pitting issue, but it's generally sorted. It's the same with everything. You've got a warranty. You've got it for a good reason. So
yeah. I think, as you said, a lot
tricky.
of the
Tricky question.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you tend to get quite a few of these, I think. I think you're right there. A lot of reputations are based on historic instances, aren't they? You know, and Harley's a prime example. I think there is. Yeah, okay, they maybe never used to be the most reliable or well made, but things have changed.
Do you know what I think? Like, I feel like the chroming and stuff of Harleys used to be better in the earlier days. Maybe.
Oh, right. Okay.
Personally.
Well, scrimping and saving now.
Yeah.
All received.
But you know what? If you're a Harley rider and you completely disagree with what I'm saying, sound off in the comments. Am I doing this YouTube thing right?
You are. That's what it's all about, engagement.
That's it.
Oh, Goose, I think we've already answered this. For Kate, what's your best and scariest track you've ever driven on?
Scariest?
Yeah.
Cadwell was a bit intimidating, but didn't get to do much of that. But Rockingham got scary the faster I got. I went from, oh, Mike, this is my favourite track, to, Mike, I don't quite think it's my favourite track anymore. I'm frightened. Because I was pushing and I was just getting a bit leery. And he was just like, just rein it in, Kate. So I was like, okay. Then I reined it in.
Sorry, go on.
I just reined it in and I was okay again.
Yeah, I was going to say you've got some great track pics on your Instagram. Yeah, some good body position there, getting the knee down, good effort.
Oh, I've got a long way to go on the body position, a long way. In fact, my goal this year, not goal, I mean, I've got a few track days booked if the C word ever goes.
Yeah.
But I was probably too focused last year on getting my knee down. Whereas this year, I want to get my knee down less.
Right.
And work on overall body position, because I'm very bolt upright and like I need to be more like that as opposed to so that's what I'm going to work on. That's it. not quite, but you know, a less exaggerated version.
And less what?
A less exaggerated version of like a Marquez. You know.
Graham Jackson is pretty well. We've already answered this one. What got you into bikes and what's your favourite? We've already covered that. Pete English. Now, Pete never lets us down here. No pressure, but he always comes out with some
Pete.
cracking.
Come on, I'm ready.
There we go. Oh, do you have anyone in your life that you're completely sure of, but others tell you different?
Say what?
Do you have anyone in your life that you're completely sure of, but others tell you different? So is there anyone in your life that you think, I 100% know this person and I know them as A, but other people are telling you, nah, they're B or C or D? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I suppose, like, a lot of people don't like, not a lot of people, but like, a few people maybe don't like my fella, Mike.
All right.
Because he is so black and white and he will say it exactly how it is.
Yeah.
And he does not lie and he can't sugarcoat things. Mm-hmm. So, you know, if somebody's like maybe on track and they're like, oh yeah, I'm doing amazing, I'm doing it, and they're not, and you're like,
he says exactly.
Keep going, you're doing all right. Yeah. Mike's like, you're shit, you're not revving it. And I'm like, Mike, you don't even know this guy. Yeah, but he's like harping on about how mint he is, and he's not. And I'm like, so maybe in that sense, yeah, but I respect the bluntness and take it for what it's worth, so. Yeah. But it's for me. But yeah you can rub people up the wrong way, bless him.
Do you know, I like people like that. I like to know where you stand with folk. I don't see any point in the bullshit. You know, like if you don't like someone, then why pretend you do?
I'm almost a bit envious of him in that respect, because I am, like, one of my worst traits that I have is I'm a people pleaser, and I hate it because it gets me like walked over a bit in life, because I don't want to say things that I truly mean because of how it might impact me, because I'm an overthinker. Whereas Mike's just like, I don't care. And I'm like, man, I wish I had that.
I very much used to be a yes man when I was younger, definitely.
I am a yes woman.
Yeah. And now I'm more like Mike. Now I will say my mind now. I'll be tactful when you need to be tactful. Don't get me wrong.
He ain't tactful. No.
I'm not out there to hurt people's feelings or anything. Yeah. So if I don't agree with something, then fine. If I think now's not the time to voice that, I won't. Yeah. But yeah. But,
I'm still trying to teach him. So trying to rein him in a bit.
Good luck with that. Good luck.
Happy medium. Nice compromise. But yeah, that's my honest answer, I guess.
Cool. Right, Pete, you never let us down there. Nice one.
Never. Strange one, but all right.
He's full of strange ones. He's a good lad, Pete.
Best kind of people.
Definitely. Mark Smith. This is the last one from the clan. Mark Smith. Kate, what made you pick the RS765 as your daily ride?
Oh, I am a tart for technology.
Right.
Like, if it's got the bells and whistles and it glows, I'm interested. But not only that, it got amazing write-ups about the brakes, just for your money, what you get in terms of technology.
Yeah.
Like the upside-down forks and the O-rings on the RS and everything like that. I was just attracted to it like a magpie, like how aggressive it looks. And a lot of people don't like them big bug eyes that it's got. But I love it. I'm looking back at petrol stations like, I see you. Yeah. So that's probably why I went for it, out of like, the competition, like Duke 790s and stuff like that. I've done the whole KTM thing, and I just kind of fell out with a KTM dealership, if you will. I'm not going to specifics, but it made me think, you know what, I've invested so much money in KTM. Like my 690 Duke, I don't know if you've seen it in the past, it was probably the most blinged up 690 in the country. Right. Like power parts galore. Like it wasn't typical KTM orange, it was black and white. Like it was obnoxious. Yeah. I loved it. But I just wanted more power, and it couldn't offer me it. Like the 690, it was like 73 brake, and it was beautiful. Like you go under a tunnel and it'd bark. I loved it. But and to look at it, it was aggressive and angular, and I really, really did enjoy that bike. When you ride something and it you just got one with it, and you know exactly what you can do, and the riding position is perfect. But I just got that craving for more power, and I just wanted it. So I tried the 790 Duke, and I thought I wouldn't want to get rid of my 690 for the 790.
Yeah.
Because of how perfect the 690 was. So I thought, if I'm doing that, I'm getting the power. I'm not getting the feeling and everything that I wanted. So I just tried something different. So I went for the Triumph because it won like Bike of the Year 2017, I think it was, an MCN, and I saw that and I was like, I'll test ride it. And I test rode it and I was like, I get it.
Yeah, the 765 is a hell of a lot of bike for the money as well, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I looked earlier today, I think, because I've been chatting with Triumph, and is it under 10 grand for the 765?
I think it is, because I think when I got mine, the retail was like 10.3.
Right.
And then they've brought out this new one, Triumph. We're going to have words here. And reduce the price of the new one and get a bloody quick shifter and auto gripper. Yeah. So now mine's going to be worth £300 less. It's like, come on, Triumph. But I can't justify so early in a PCP changing, and the differences wouldn't be enough to make me want to change.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
No, that's just like...
shiny, new, shiny.
I know. But to be fair, my Triumph's not done many miles, so that's still shiny new to me.
Yeah. See, I mean, I am the worst person in the world to speak to about the logic of of selling and buying new bikes on finance because I was terrible. I was terrible with them. But I take the viewpoint that PCP, I'm just renting. I'm renting the bike. I'm renting the best bike I can possibly get for me for a fraction of the price it would cost to buy it. And I never think to myself it's dead money. It's just it lets me have that bike.
Yeah. So like my mentality, obviously I sell bikes on finance. So my KTM Duke 690 was on HP. So at the end of it, I owned it. But what I did was when I sold it privately, rang Santander, paid off the minimal balance, and then got the money from the guy, and off he went, and that was fine. So then I had that money sat there burning a hole in my pocket, not literally because it was bank transfer, but I thought, you know what? I know that I'm going to want to change my bike frequently because I always want the newest, latest thing that's out because I'm a magpie. So I thought PCP, low deposit, low monthlies, and then I can just get something different. Yeah. Or if I really fall in love with it, I can pay off my final balance, which I'll save over them 3 years if I wanted to. Because PCP is all right if you don't get in the trap of going for the craziest thing that, you ended up putting quite a large deposit down and you'll never really get it back, unless you do buy the bike outright. So it is a way of people buying these Panigales and stuff like that. But for me, I'm really sensible with my money. I'm like a proper saver. So if I can't afford to buy that bike outright, I don't want to buy it. Do you know what I mean?
Do you not?
So I will finance it, but know that if the proverbial hit the fan, I'm in a position that it's not going to massively impact my life and get me lots of debt.
No, that's the best way to be. But I am totally the other one. I'm the one looking at the Panigale going, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
£1 deposit and I can have that. Yeah, give me.
Yeah. And I think that is what gets a lot of young people,
Yeah.
So a lot of people say, oh, PCP is the devil. And it's like, no, you've just not got to abuse it unless you're Bruce.
My PCP is coming up to an end on the GS actually next January, February. That's my 3 years done. So yeah, I'm already
What are you thinking?
At the moment, I've got to admit, it's just the GS does everything, and that new 1250 engine.
Shit down.
It's what the 1200 Boxer lacked. It's got a little bit more oomph there, but it's still refined. You can ride it. Pardon the expression. You can ride it like a total lady, and it's fine. It's no problems. It's relaxed. Or you can ride it like a tart as well, and just give it. So you can take it on track, and it handles really well. Whereas the KTM. I think the KTM and the Multistradas, the Ducati Multistrada, they're better bikes to ride passion-wise. They really stir the soul. They get the blood going. But I think the KTM's probably closest, for me, the KTM's closest to the GS in terms of being an everyday bike as well. A bike that I could ride down to southern Spain and then do a track day on it or take it off on a trail somewhere, But I would be more comfortable on the GS as opposed to the KTM. But when it came to spanking it in the mountains, the KTM's the one I'd want to be on.
I get you.
Yeah. But at the moment, it would be the 1250 GS, I think. HP, yeah. But we'll see. We'll see.
Well, I know a girl that could do you a fantastic deal. Just saying.
Yes, I'll give you a shout then, definitely. If that deals, it's free. Awesome. Yeah, no problem. I will. Honestly, I will. I'll give you a shout and see what we can do.
Super.
Right, we're now over onto Instagram.
Ooh.
At TeapotOne Insta, if you've not done that. Your Instagram's username, Kate?
Just username, Kate.
Beautiful. There'll be links all down below, folks. If you're listening to the podcast, I don't know why I'm looking at the camera if I'm talking about listening to Conquer. If you check out the show notes on the podcast, there'll be links to all Kate's social media there. And if you're on the YouTube, check out the description and there'll be links all there. So make sure you follow Kate. Right, straight over. We have Tybe93, TYB_93. Question for both of us. Are you okay for time, Kate? So we've been
absolutely fine.
Beautiful,
I'm
lovely.
not working. I don't have to be up for work tomorrow.
No worries. Not going out later. No, none of that.
No.
Irrespective of cost, what would you be put in action? Oh, so what does that mean? What would you put in an action vlog camera to make it perfect? Ah, okay, right. So irrespective
what
of
features?
Yeah, what would be a perfect action or vlog camera? That's a good question, actually.
See, at the minute, I just work with what I've got. Mm-hmm. So I've got 2 GoPro Sessions, the little square things.
Yeah. What, the 5 or the 4?
It was just called a Session when I bought it. And then I think they redid the branding and put a 5 on it. So it might be the 4. I don't know.
Yeah, probably
just
is the 4.
Thing.
Yeah, these things.
Yes, I've got one behind the helmet there, but I'm all wired up so I can't reach.
Yeah, they're good little cameras. Really good cameras.
Like, I love it. It's on a sunny day as well. Like, it's crystal clear. It's beautiful. Yeah. But the only thing that annoys me is you can't plug in an external mic.
Yeah, you have to use these blooming adapter things, don't you? And I think there's issues with the 5, isn't there? Or the Session?
Don't know. Like, I just use them for, like, on track days, put them on the back, put them on the front. Yeah. I did have one whiz off at Anglesey. Oh. But it whizzed off on the main straight in front of everyone. So Mike just jumped over the wall, picked it off the grass and jumped back. So it was easy enough. But for vlogging, like, I'm terrible with setups. So the only real thing that I know is a chest cam with this microphone literally wrapped around it because it's so long. And then that's just how I vlog. Like, I have a setup far from perfection. It is a Bodgett Barry job. Like, I'm not a pro, I just wing it. And then my vlogging camera that I've got is a Canon G7X Mark II. And I find it so frustrating. I actually hate it as a camera. Do you?
Why is that? Why?
It's always freezing. And this is like with memory cards that are barely full. And I don't know whether I just picked a dud one or something, but it's far out of its warranty now and I just don't like it, don't get on with it.
Where do you get your memory cards from?
Trust me, Mike is like a researcher, memory card, SD card pro. So he's getting like all the SanDisk streams and he's looking at all these class things that you need. So we've got about 6 and they're all super like quality, SD cards. Just don't know what it is about that camera. But as far as things that I want, like I'd love like a GoPro 8, but like with the 360 capability. I don't know if that's even possible. Is that possible?
Have you seen the rumours about GoPro?
What?
Well, later this year, it's normally every September, October sort of time, GoPro have been bringing out a new camera. So I think two Septembers ago they brought out this one, the Hero 7, and then last October or November they brought out the Hero 8. So the expectation would be this year, round about that time, they would bring out the next GoPro. But obviously,
9.
Well, maybe. Or it might be the 1X or whatever they're going to call it. But what they're talking about now is because Insta have the 360 and now they've brought out that 1R. Yeah, so they've brought out the 1R now that has the 360 module and it's got a 4K camera module as well, so you can interchange the lenses. So the rumours are that GoPro may well be putting a hold on the release of this next camera because they're going to try and beat effectively the 1R. So you might get your wish. Yeah, we'll see.
Hope so.
Yeah. The only problem I've got the 360 1X. I bought one of them, and it's great, but it's a pain in the arse to edit. It really is a pain in the arse editing because it's just it kills your computer because it just uses all the processor and the RAM and everything like that. Even if do you make proxy files? I'm going to get all geeky with you here. Do you make proxy files for editing?
Do you know what? You'd be ashamed of me. But you know how I edit all of my YouTube videos and everything on my phone?
You're kidding me, do you?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, I use a system called KineMaster.
Right, yeah.
But it's only for Android, because I don't have an iPhone. And it is the best editing thing that I've ever used in my life. It's so user-friendly, like even I can work it.
Yeah.
But the only problem is you can't save the exported file to a memory card. So it goes on your phone. So when you've got a load of apps and stuff like that, sometimes you can't save them. So I've just had to format my phone, just wipe everything off it, and then I'll do my videos that way.
That's insane. You can't transfer it off the phone to like cloud storage or...
Nope. And like I've gone on like Google and KineMaster support, and it is like they can't get that because of privacy issues or something. Like to save it direct to an SD card. Like that was what it said, and I was just like, well, that's just crap. But if I just format my phone, then I can always save them. But I've been doing like these quizzes with Biker Jen and Alan Liz, and they're like hours long, and I'm just like, I can't. I have to do it on the Mac.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's hard work because I'm not an Apple person. I've just bought this Mac off my granddad. He's like more technological than me. He's got this Mac, so I'm just trying to figure out like even just the simplest iMovie. But because I'm so used to KineMaster, just like...
Yeah. It's funny that because the new iPads that are coming out, you can edit video on them. It's not...
He's just bought one.
Oh, has he?
He's just sold this to me and he's bought one of them.
And he's bought a new one.
He's 80 years old. Big up Granddad Don, real OG.
Good on you. Well, wow, I can't believe you do it all on your phone because I'm a Mac man, but I use Final Cut.
Yeah.
And I'm blooming welded. I can't imagine editing on a phone.
It's amazing. It's like trim at playhead, swipe it away, like drag the music, cut it, do voiceovers, put it on, like, oh man, it's brilliant. It's so easy.
Oh God, I'm too blooming long in the teeth to look at someone else and learn something. It's taken me this long to sort of get where I am with Final Cut, let alone learn something else.
Well, that stuff does look confusing. Like I'm even struggling like editing these videos on iMovie, but on KineMaster it's just so. Like I've not even looked at the instructions and how to do it, but you can just pick it up like that. It's insane.
It's just intuitive.
It's crazy. Very. It's awesome.
I think going back to Tybe's question, then for me, ultimate action vlog camera. Well, for me, I kind of think that they're two separate things, really, because for me, an action camera, for the on-bike stuff, I always film at 60 frames a second, just because it's fast moving, and with 60 frames, it gives you that option to slow it down a wee bit more. Whereas with the vlog stuff, traditionally, you want that to be sort of 24 or for us, 30 frames a second. So
this is why you're the man to answer this, because all what you're saying now goes...
The thing is most people probably wouldn't even notice. Most people watching a video probably wouldn't even notice. But people that do know what they're looking for can look at some footage and straight away they can go, well, that's in 24, or that's 25, 30, 60.
That's
crazy. All this sort of stuff.
I envy them people.
I do. I look at like the big vloggers on YouTube particularly. I look at their work and I find myself looking at it and trying to break down technically how they've done it, and I'm just like, that's stunning. There's so much work that's gone into it as well, and you think, how do you churn these videos out? Because some of them churn them out daily, and you're like, how are you doing that? How?
It's a really big. They must have like a dedicated person to do that.
The big ones obviously they've got an editor, but they did it all themselves to get to that stage, and you're like, you have put in years of graft to get where you are, to be in that position, to have an editor. And I'm like, I don't know. Like Casey Neistat spent, 5 years daily vlogging? Wow. Every single day chucking out a video, and you're like, that's just nuts. I don't know how he did it. So for me, I think at the moment, the Hero 7, Hero 8, probably best action camera out there for me. The picture's amazing. Even the sound's good natively. Has a few issues, but memory cards are a big part. My GoPros used to freeze all the time, and it turns out it was the memory card.
Yeah.
But I was buying the best memory cards you could get on Amazon for the cheapest price, but there's so many fake cards out there. So in the end, I went direct to SanDisk, and I bought them from them, and I haven't had a single problem since. Yeah. So
I get all mine from Scan, because like you say, there's proper dodgy ones, aren't there? So.
Yeah, there are, and there's a reason it's like 15 quid, whereas it should be 40 quid or 50 quid, so Yeah. Blue-eyed biker, what first got you both into bikes, and what was the first bike both of you rode? Well, I think we've covered that, haven't we? You know, your dad got you in, didn't he?
Blue Boation.
That's it. Yep. Vida. Oh, this is the one you answered. Rich's question. Questions for Kate from Richie Vida. Does she remember spanking Gaz at Bruntingthorpe? And to clarify, Gaz was on the Gixxer 1000 RR and you were on a V-Strom.
Oh yes, like literally. I have that footage on my Instagram somewhere if you scroll deep enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got invited to a Suzuki day, like a launch day in 2018, and took Mike along with me. And there was just a lineup, an array of bikes that you could take out. You could take the Bergman 650 on the track. You could take the Gixxer 1000R. You could take a V-Strom, Hayabusa, like anything. And we got out, and I'm on the V-Strom. I'm like, right, you're going to get a spanking now. Are you ready? So I'm like, literally just wound it on, like full chat. And I can see this Gixxer in my sights. And I'm like, oh, I've got to dust this guy. So I'm literally just going... like literally giving it all it's got, and it just like swooped on past him. And then when I looked at the footage, I was like, at the end I put an Instagram story. I was like, best part of the day, smoking a Gixxer and a V-Strom. And then he came forward and he was like, that was me, like Gaz. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, mate. And he was like, no, it's fine. So thankfully he took it in good humour. He's
a top man, Gaz. Really nice.
Yeah, it was a highlight. It was so funny.
Brilliant. I remember watching that. I think I'd not long met Rich. I think I met Rich at a thing with Toro, I think, down in Spain. And then everybody, I think, got invited to that Suzuki event, except me. Thanks, Suzuki. Again, another one. I never get invited to anything from Suzuki. They hate me for some reason.
Why?
But I don't know. But yeah, I remember Rich pissing himself telling me the story, because I hadn't met Gaz by this point, and Gaz followed my world trip and was sort of a big fan of the round the world stuff.
Yeah.
And Rich was just wetting himself that you spanked him at Bruntingthorpe. Good effort. Good on you.
Tried.
CBR Dan. Will you do, this is to you, Kate, will you do Land's End to John O'Groats time race special with us? Because myself, TMF, quite a few, Lamb Chops, Mr. Fish, there's a load of us have all spoke about doing some sort of Land's End to John O'Groats type challenge ride. So we're not entirely sure what it's going to be, whether it's going to be little bikes, big bikes, selection of bikes, electric bikes. But you'd be more than welcome to come and join us if you fancy it.
If you guys would have me, I'd be booking time off work like there's no tomorrow.
Do you fancy it? Seriously?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Well, right, okay, I'll keep you in the loop then, and we'll try and get something going with that.
I'm so down for that.
Right,
like I watched you guys do the bikes versus planes.
Oh yeah.
And I was listening to, I think it was Bru Time with you and Lamb Chop Ride, and you were saying, or maybe it was Richie Vida, I don't know, like how it didn't get the views that like you guys thought it would. It so should have. It's awesome. I loved it. I had it on my telly, lights off. I got my cat on my lap. I'm like, right, Jasper, let's hunker down. You're watching me. And I loved it. Honestly, I was so engaged with it and oh my God, who's gonna win? And it was so funny having the electric bike element. Yeah. That was awesome. And then it was Chopsy trying to behave on his H2.
He bloody wasn't behaving, I'll tell you that.
He wasn't, was he? I know, you have to be super careful, but he was just
Every time I switched the cameras on, I was just bang on or just below the speed limit, and I'd just watch them all disappear, and then I'd switch the camera off, spank the nuts out of it trying to catch them up again, and then I'd have to switch the camera on and slow right down and watch them go, and you're like, that was crazy, that, because we thought it was going to be YouTube gold. We really did. We thought
I did.
This is the thing.
What would you guys never put it on everyone's channel? Or what was the mindset, the thoughts behind it?
Of putting it on all of our channels?
Oh, did you put it on all your channels? Or was it just yours?
No. What ended up happening was there was only really myself and Lamb Chops and John who actually made a video. So
Right.
I did. We all pulled our footage together, and then I made a video out of it, and Lamb Chops made a video out of it, and then Lamb Chops did like a basic edit that he handed to Andy TMF for TMF to do his little bits to it, just because Andy just he just doesn't have the time.
Yeah.
He's got so much stuff going on at the moment.
Yeah.
So there was really only 2 different versions of it, and I think once it went out on all 4 channels, people would watch. Lamb Chops put his up first, like a week or 2 before mine was ready. So people would watch that, and then like Rich or TMF put their video up, and people would watch the first minute or 2 and go, "Oh, it's the same video." So by the time it came to me putting my video
doesn't it?
It does, yeah. So by the time mine came out, I think a lot of people were like, "Well, I've already seen 1, 2, 3, and they were all the same." So I think a lot of people don't realise there's a couple of different versions out there, but never mind. We'll do another one definitely. And invite you for that. There's another one. Jonathan Joe Woods, another one asking UK, what track in the UK would you recommend for someone's first track day?
Anglesey.
Yeah? Why's that?
100%. Just big, sweeping, very forgiving, lots of fun to be had. Got everything you want. It's got the amenities, the facilities, amazing toilets. If you want to camp there overnight, get a bit, acquainted with the whole atmosphere. Because for a first track day, it can be pretty intense, need a few nervous poos in the morning before you go, on getting your leathers and stuff. It's like,
it's funny, yeah.
So definitely Anglesey is just a very inviting track. They've got a cafe on site. So it's not like if you go to Cadwell, there's no garages whatsoever. So it's like the best case is that you get the concrete so that you can put your gazebo up. Otherwise you're demoted to the grass, and if it's been raining and it's wet, it's disgusting. So yeah, I'd say Anglesey. It's just wonderful. Nice. It's great.
Have you been down and done Brands?
No.
You never done Brands? It's not big, but it's it's
I would
just
like to.
Yeah, everything's there. I've been told the GP circuit. I've never done that, but I've been told the GP is pretty special.
It's just so far away.
Yeah, for you.
For me, and same with Snetterton. I've got a load of friends that want to do that, and I will do it, but that's borderline 5.5 hours away.
Yeah.
And it's all right if I'm bringing Mike as my chauffeur, because I can sleep anywhere. I could sleep now like this. No bother. So
yeah, but that's the Di Serrano that's done that, isn't it?
No, that's just me generally in life, right? The minute I get a bit comfy, temperature's right, I'm snug. My eyes are shut, drooling. I'm basically grandma before my time. So when I've got Mike, he can drive wide awake, nothing phases him. He's ace. So he just plows on, and I get me sleep in the car, and then I go and I'm ready, and then after the track day I'm exhausted and I'm just asleep, and he drives back. He's ace. But if I'm going to Snetterton and I've got to pay for a hotel for us both, because he's doing the good grace of taking me down and spannering for me and my mates to make sure if anything goes wrong, because he's very, very handy. He gets us all back on the track. So because of that, I make sure that he doesn't have to pay for anything, because he's by the booking time of work. So why should he have to pay to put fuel in his car? Why should he have to pay for his food?
That's good on you. Yeah, brilliant.
So I do that. So to then go all the way to Snetterton and then have a Cadwell situation, because it was similar like that, or it'd be red flag or cancel for whatever. It's a lot of money as well as time. to waste. So that's why I kind of like the more locally ones. Anglesey's 2 hours from me. Alton's 45 minutes away.
Yeah.
Mallory's not too far either. But yeah, Donington's about 2 hours 10 something. It's not too bad, but the long ones are far.
Yeah, you're lucky up north because I mean it's not on your doorstep by any means, but yeah, we have from down here. Brands Hatch is 20 minutes for me, whereas everywhere else is even Snetterton. Really Snetterton is still 2.5, 3 hour ride each way, and then all the ones up north, nightmare. So yeah, I
shouldn't complain too bad. We've got it all right. Good tracks.
Sweb 46. Question for Kate. Okay. again, we've kind of covered this. What's it like working in bike sales, considering it's predominantly male-dominated? And when are you and Biker Jen doing another video, as they are so funny?
Oh, bless him. So, me and Jen and Liz were all hoping to do another Quizzing video soon. I'll just go to that one. And then the question before it, just say it again, because they're all quite similar but different, aren't they?
They are, yeah. What's it like working in bike sales, considering it's a male-dominated industry?
Working in it depends entirely on the people that you work with. As silly as that sounds. So, like, where I am at Williams, everyone is ace. It's very professional. I'm just treated the exact same as all the guys. And I love that. But working, and not necessarily in sales, but just in the bike industry in the past, like, you do come up against challenges. Like, I've had things said to me that were just a highly questionable, like, obviously, like, going back like 7 years and stuff, but, like, things that are just not appropriate at all, but that wouldn't have been said to a guy. And little yes woman Kate, people pleaser, just kind of ignored it, sucked it up, when really Kate now would have been like, do you know what I mean? So it all depends on the company. You get with good company, you'll be looked after, you'll be treated exactly the same as everyone else. You go somewhere like where I worked 7 years ago, where this was actually, I'll not name any names or any companies or anything like that, but this was said in front of a load of customers. It was, well, we probably sell more bikes here, but Kate's not that attractive and she's got small tits. And I was like, nice one, mate. Thanks for that.
Yeah, that's what you want to hear, isn't it? Yeah.
And the guy would have thought that was completely, like, banterous. There's no doubt in my mind that because of the person that he was, that he didn't see that as any issue. But here I am, like, 7 years later, and I can still remember exactly what was said in front of people. It was highly embarrassing. And, like, they kind of, like, laughed and then, like, looked over at me. And I was just like, and I just went, this is what I have to put up with. And I just walked off. So it has had its challenges in the past. But I feel like the earlier companies that started out was a bit of a hard do. But when I've worked for more reputable ones like the Rocket Centre in Blackburn, they were fantastic. Even Bowker, Harley Davidson and now Williams, I've always been treated with a level of respect, just the same as the guys. And that's all I strive for, really, because why should I be treated any different?
No, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, my sort of world I've come from in the old Bill is, it's down that, I've chatted about this before on other podcasts. It's very similar to all the emergency services. They're all very similar to, like, the forces, you know, the military, that sort of mentality. In that it takes a certain type of person to survive in that environment mentally, anyway, because you have to be of a certain way of thinking to operate.
This person was of military background.
Yeah.
So that's why I took it as a bit of, that's just you, and you say that, and you don't think that that's inappropriate in any sense. But that's not cool, mate.
I did kind of, when you said it, I did kind of think to myself, and I thought, do you know what? I know lots of people that would say that to a colleague, whether they're male or female, wouldn't matter. They would say something that they know, like, for me, I would say something, if one of my best mates is really short, then I'll have a pop at him about his height, but I'll say it in tongue in cheek. And I wouldn't in you know what I mean? I wouldn't in a million years think he's going to take that personally. And I would be horrified if I thought, oh shit, they are actually really hurt by that. And I would stop it straight away, don't get me wrong. Exactly. But if I thought he's going to be okay about it, then that's the first thing I will target. I'll go for it. Yeah. It's a difficult one, isn't it? Like, if you...
And maybe that's the thing, because, like, I've always put across, like, I'm one of the lads, do you know what I mean? But I just think there are levels to things. Like, come on, like, would you say that, like, in front of customers? Like, you're laughing at my expense. Like, don't like that, bro.
Yeah, that's different then. When there's other people around, it's different, isn't it? If it's just you and them, then you can have a pop back, can't you? And
you've got some kind of power in the situation, but you don't when there's, like, eyes on you and it's been aimed at you. You're just like, oh god.
Yeah.
let me go.
I don't think I've ever been. I can't think of ever being put in a situation like that, to be honest. I don't know how I would handle that.
But on the flip side, I can remember a story that's just come flooding back to me when I worked at the Rocket Centre in sales. So, where I was sat at the desk, I could directly see the service manager, right? He is ace, he's called Steve. And I was sat there, and it was like the end of the day, 10 minutes to close, and the phone rings. So I pick the phone up and I say, "Hi there, through to Kate in sales, how can I help?" I want to speak to a man in sales, please. And I was like, "Oh, well, it's just me, little old me. So yeah, how can I help? I'm in sales, I can assist you." And he was like, "Oh, see, this is why I need to speak to a man." And when he said that, I was like, "Do you know what? I'm not taking this." And I felt dead empowered, and I went, and I put the phone down. And I thought, I'm not being spoken to like that. You won't speak to me because I'm not a man. Well, you're not speaking to anyone. Just hung up. Straight away, the phone rang. Phone rang back, and Steve shouted. Because I was in the process of explaining to him what had just been said to me. So he answered it, and he went, "Oh, right. Oh, you just spoke to a girl called Kate? Oh, she hung up on you? Oh, yeah, well, she's a salesperson. She's the only person that you need to speak to."
Yeah.
"Oh, right. Yeah, I can't help you. I'm a service manager. I don't know anything about value in your CRF. You need to speak to Kate." "No, there is nobody else. You need to speak to Kate in sales." "Oh, I'm sorry, she's just left the building." And I was sat there going, "Yes."
Nice.
And he was like, "Yeah, you're going to have to ring back tomorrow," and put the phone down. I was like, "Thank you."
Good man.
Like, fancy that. Like, how rude. I can value a bike just as good as anyone else. We all work off the same thing. Not rocket science.
The public can be awesome at times, can't they? I don't miss that aspect of having to deal with all manners of the public like that.
Yeah. But you know what? For the bad ones, I get some proper awesome people like Rob Scott that, put the question. He was an absolute joy to deal with from start to finish. And it's people like that make you just love your job, make it all worthwhile, and like why you do it. Yep. So you can forgive the morons for the sake of the good uns.
That's what I've loved about this whole this whole sort of YouTube life. Really, is that the vast you do get arseholes in the comments. You must get it in the comments. You get utter mong, don't you? But the vast majority of people who either leave comments or come and meet me at shows or come on trips and ride outs and all that, they're just brilliant, salt of the earth, lovely people, and it sort of reaffirms your faith in folk, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely does.
Yeah. Right, enough of that soft stuff. Right, Dave, cars and bikes. Ask Kate if she thinks electric bikes are worth having and what current model she would like.
Oh, yeah, I definitely think they're worth having. Would I have one as a main bike solely at the moment? No. Would I have one if I was commuting in a city as like a second bike? Yes. Could I afford one at this moment in time as a second bike, new or used? No. Because we need some rich pioneers out there to be the ones to propel the movement forward and invest in it, so money can be invested in the whole industry. Absolutely. And make it what it can be but isn't. I've ridden electric bikes. They are fun. They're just a different sensation, but you can still have fun on them. And I think if I was to have one, I would quite like a Zero SRF.
Gotcha.
Because I really enjoyed riding that. I called it like the electric Super Duke because that's the vibes I got from it, especially with the Beast as a mode.
That's it.
So,
they're insane, aren't they? They're crazy. The new Energicas. Yeah, the new Energicas that are coming out. One of them's got over. I think the SS9 has 200 Newton meters, and I think the Ego has 210.
Yeah, so I rode the SS9 like directly back to back with the SRF. And for some reason, I didn't like the weight distribution of the Energica. I, for some reason, and I asked Mike because we swapped, I said, "Do you notice that?" And he was like, "I don't know what you're on about." So maybe it was just me, but I just felt like the weight was really low and at the front.
Yeah.
Like, and I just didn't like it, like, compared to the Zero. But I think the Energica had some mad fast charging, like, capability, which
20
I was like...
20 minutes.
20 minutes, yeah. And I was like, wow, that is something special, so...
Yeah, I took the Energica out for a spanking round the local roads, because with the Zeros, I'd only ever ridden them in and out of work, which on my commute, which was like, you know, it's 20 miles of it is on motorway, 20 miles is right in central London. Yeah. But I'd never taken them for like a proper hooligan ride. So with the Energica, I thought, right, I'll take that out on the back lanes and just see what it's like. And I thought I'll run it dry and then see what it's like trying to find somewhere to charge it up.
Yeah.
And as it was, I was in the middle of nowhere and I found one of these fast charging places. Wow. And it was like 24 minutes to give a full recharge. And I was back on the road. And it was nuts. It's funny what you said about the Energica with the SS9, because I found that it felt heavier lower down than the Zero, but I preferred that. I think because I'm such a big fat lump, I felt more like a lower scent. Yeah, planted on the Energica, whereas in the Zero I felt more top heavy. So I preferred the Energica, to be honest.
I think maybe because I'm like an 8-stone girl, I found it almost a bit like it wanted to control me. Like, because I've not got the strength as much, and like it's weird because it weren't terrible, like, but I just preferred the feeling of the Zero. But it just goes to show, isn't it, different like body types and stuff that suit better to different things. So that's why when people say to me, they're like, "Oh, would you recommend this bike for me?" It's like, mate, I'm an 8-stone, 5'4" girl. You're like a 6-foot guy who's built like a brick house. Like, what do you want from me? Like, you need to ride it yourself. I can't give you the answers. Because my experience will be completely different to yours. Yeah.
Do you get asked about tyres? I get asked about tyres all the time. It's like, what do you think? What's the best tyre for this sort of bike? And I'm like, nowadays, tyres are all much of a muchness. It's a personal thing. Yeah. Do you know, I'll ride a tyre. Go on.
Yeah, some people have brand preferences and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
For me, as sad as it sounds, I love Metzeler. Why? Is there any, like, is it to do with the tech spec of the tyre and the components of the materials that it's made of? No, it's because my dad went to the elephant treffen in Germany in 19 whatever and came back with a little blue elephant. And it sat next to my bedside, and I absolutely love that damn elephant, that Metzeler elephant. So I like Metzeler. You know, it can be something as simple as that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But all tyres are pretty decent nowadays, so it's just what you like, isn't it? Just give it a go. Like, if you like it, you like it. If you don't.
Yeah. Some are faster turning, some are slower, some move more in the road, others don't, and it all depends what you like.
It all depends how you ride, because if you're aggressive, you're going to get the heat in. If you're not, you might want something that's a bit softer, so it's grippier. If you're not going to be getting the heat in it all the time, you know. So there's so many different variants. Oh, you tour in all weathers, you're going to want something like a Road 5 or an M7RR, something that can handle the wet as well as the dry. But there's so many different variants and things. It's just about trying and seeing what you like.
Definitely.
And if you don't like it, you get something else.
Absolutely. Right, next one. Dazron13. I think the question about if you were to go and meet aliens and could only take one bike and person with you, what and who would it be? Oh. Right, so if you've got to go and meet aliens... If you had to go and meet an alien, and you could only, take,
sorry at the question. It's weird.
God, some of the questions we've had have been proper far out, I tell you. If you could go and meet an alien, and you could only take one person and one bike with you, what would it be?
Right. Well, I'd take an electric bike because I could charge it on the spaceship when I arrived there from in space.
Logic.
Yeah. And I'd take someone like Captain Marvel with me, because if the aliens are hostile, it's just going to whoop its ass and then I can come home.
See, I think right there, you have hit the nail on the head between the difference between men and women. That's logic.
Is this why women live longer?
Absolutely. I mean, that is total logic, isn't it?
Total logic.
Absolutely. I'm thinking something flashy like a Panigale. And
so you can dazzle them.
Yeah, just because it's a cool bike. Don't worry about the implications of it.
No. The fact that when the aliens come after you and it breaks down. I'm kidding.
And who would I take with me? Oh, Elon Musk, because I'm sure he's one of them anyway.
True. But that's quite logical as well for you, Bruce.
Well, I only said that because of what you said, and I thought I've got to think of something intelligent now. So,
intelligent.
Yeah.
Love it.
Do you listen to Joe Rogan, his podcasts?
No.
Oh, he's. Oh, if you like podcasts, if you like this, if you like just long form conversations,
yes,
the Joe Rogan podcasts are amazing because he. Technical issue.
So sorry about that.
Remy, if you're watching this, folks, then we got it sorted. If you're not watching it, we didn't get it sorted. Right, where were we talking about? Yeah, Joe Rogan.
Okay, yeah.
He has everybody and everyone on there. So he'll have like MMA fighters talking about the latest fights, comedians, because he does stand-up. But then he'll have folk like Elon Musk. He'll have...
Is Joe Rogan quite tanned and like a bit beefy?
Yeah. Looks like a total meathead.
Yes. Yeah. Looks like he'd like knock you out.
Absolutely, yeah. He's
I think I've seen a few of his stuff.
He's a really interesting character when you listen to his podcasts. I just love how, most of the time he's off his box on weed or whatever he's taking. They drink during it sometimes. So the conversation can get quite deep, very deep at times. Because sometimes, it's awesome. It's just like, what do they call it? The rabbit warren. We've gone right into the rabbit warren when they start going, like when they start talking about space. Rabbit hole. Sorry, not rabbit warren.
No, I watch a guy called I'll listen to podcasts and stuff. Sean Atwood, he's amazing as well.
I've never listened to them.
Yeah, he does like true crime, but it relates to like the relevant world and things that are going on now. And he interviews like ex-police and stuff and like Prince Andrew's prison guard and stuff, and it gets all spicy. It's so cool, honestly. You should check him out.
I love it. The podcast just, it was listening to Rogan that got me into this. I just thought, I fancy that. Just having a conversation with people.
Yeah, it's good.
Cool. Right, so we've done the alien one. Not got too many left here. Paul the guitarist. My question is, how would you evaluate the state of the motorcycle industry? Oh, we've already covered this. With regards to women riders, what would you say are the positives and negatives currently, and what would you like to see changed in that regard? Positive and negative at the moment for female riders. You must get sick of chatting about all this sort of stuff, do you?
Do you know what? I like it because we're talking about it and it's important, really. And if it takes me, with my female anatomy, to come on and spark some kind of conversation about it, I'm all for it. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, like, it's so difficult. Like, you can go on and on and on, and I can drone on for days about it, but is this within society or the industry? Like,
he's got within the industry.
Questions.
Yeah, he's got within the industry on this.
So what, like, pros of women in the industry of bikes? What
do you evaluate the state of the motorcycle industry with regards to women riders? What do you say are the positives and negatives currently, and what would you like to see changed?
Positives, there's a lot more women riding. You see it every day. You see us more on the roads. You see us more on Instagram. You see us more on Facebook. We've got our own groups going on for, women that don't necessarily feel comfortable, on some like lads ones, because as much as you get people like you and Chopsy and that, you do get a load of like Neanderthal crude people that, stuff like that. So it's the pros are we're showing our head more. We're emerging. We're communicating with each other and empowering each other, and that's a positive. Negative is just unfortunately the way society is and has been, has held us back a bit, but we're getting there. We've got more people on like Instagram. Like, there's a few like really amazing role models out there, like, sort of just the women that are out there bossing it and doing it, grasping life by the hands, and there's more. Like, you see it now. You didn't see it once, but you see it now, and it's good. Negatives. don't know really. Just it's tricky, isn't it? It's tricky. And I've had, you know, about that much, and I'm gone already. So
I've got to admit, see with the women only track, I'm all for getting more women into riding. Absolutely. If you want to ride a bike, then I think it's shameful if you feel you're held back from doing that because you're a woman or because you're homosexual, lesbian, not sure what you are.
Yeah.
You know, everyone should be able to jump on a bike if they want to jump on a bike. No issue with it at all.
True.
I've got to admit, women-only track days really do get my goat, because first time I went to a track day, and even now when I turn up at a
you'd
track
have
day,
fit in on one of them.
well, no, but I'm shitting it when I turn up at a track day. And you know, and the geezers and you know, even now the women that are strutting around the place because they know how to ride a bike, I feel intimidated. But you know,
do you know what they should call them, right? Because women-only track days can be a bit patronising. I get that there are girls out there that feel more comfortable doing it with some other girls, but have it as a learning, like first taste of a track day experience.
Novice
Don't
day.
label it. Yeah, novice day, perfect. And then you've got the guys that have never done a track day before that feel less intimidated because they're not being thrown into a no limits track day or an MSB or whatever it is, whoever your provider is, full of all this testosterone and egos, and I can get my elbow down. Because like that is like, oh my god, like I am like bricking it. But if there's a novice day, why has it got to just be called like the women's day? Because the inference there is that it's because they're slow, because they can't keep up or keep alive, because the concentration span, the little women brain.
You're too timid to mix it with other people, and that gets me. Yeah.
Be brave.
Yeah.
Don't be scared. Like, no, just have it novice, and then everyone that's nervous can be nervous together, and you can talk, and there's no segregation there. Sometimes I think it's almost like, what's the word? There's like it's like, you know, like positive reinforcement, but like it's not trying to be sexist, but in a way it's sexist. Do you know what I mean? Because they're trying to give women more opportunity to do it, but it's also segregating at the same time.
Positive discrimination.
That's the one. I knew it was positive.
The police is full of it. Full of it now. Yeah. And it does stir resentment. You know, it stirs resentment for the blokes when, like in the old Bill in particular, when you don't get the promotion because it's gone to, you know, a woman.
Yes.
A woman applied.
Who ticks a box.
Absolutely, yeah. Or the black geezer, or the, you know, the homosexual one-legged short person gets it. And you're just like, can I not just go to the best job?
You know where you're going wrong. You should have just gone in and said, I identify as a turnip.
People do.
And then you would just be like, you know what, mate, it's yours.
I know people in my old job that used to tick the homosexual box, and they weren't, but they would tick it because it gets them through to that next stage. And you're like, what a ridiculous state of affairs to be in.
It's sad that it matters.
I know. Why?
What does it matter?
I know. Because it's like they're almost... That gets me, because, you know, you're trying to make things equal, but you're not making things equal. The very nature of having to say, well, it's going to be a woman-only day, or, you know, you have to be this sex or that sexual persuasion to apply for this.
It's like counterintuitive.
Of course it is. Yeah, just...
Like it's got the best intentions, but it doesn't work.
But then it's an ideal world, isn't it? And it's not an ideal world out there at all. So I understand why all this has to happen, but it's like, oh, come on, can we not all just get along?
Very true.
But things like you were saying, like having a novice day, it would be things like, you know, having people like yourself who can ride a bike, having you turn up as like a semi-instructor stroke tutor for that day. You know, I think that would be a great thing, because you don't need to be like a race standard. You just need to be somebody that can ride a bike, don't you? And
it can hold a line.
Absolutely, yeah. Come out, follow you for a few lines and learn what line you need to take. And it's...
Well, like, this isn't sponsored in the slightest, just so you know, but just getting it out there. Jamie Whitten track days, I find absolutely phenomenal. So, like, I'm writing an article at the moment for my website, which is basically a guide to like novices, first track days, if you will.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm doing a breakdown, and it's all based off my own experience of like what providers you can pick, what your options are about what bike you take, what your track options are, what the pros and cons of certain track day providers are, like Ron Haslam, Jamie Whittam, No Limit, stuff like that. And it's a bit of a breakdown, so I do need to pull my finger out, get cracking with that. Because I think I've had people like ask me in my inbox like questions, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to cover it all in my little article that I'm doing, my little blog, and they're like, oh, I can't wait, let me know when it's done, and I'm like, oh god, I need to do it. So I'm almost there with it, but like Jamie Whittam track day, you go there, you go in the lower group, and you've got the creme de la creme of instructors teaching you. You've got Jamie Whittam himself, you've got Jenny Tinmouth, you've got Richard Cooper, you've got Jake Dixon, like Dan Linfoot, everyone. And they're telling you, and they know that you're going to be terrible because you've not done it. But they're patient, and they give you the in-depth briefing and the breakdown, and it's just really good for when you do step foot on that No Limits track day. It's not a free-for-all that you think it's going to be, because you know kind of what you've got to do, so you feel less like you're going to die.
I've never done them, actually. I've heard nothing but good things about
honestly,
Jimmy Whittam stuff.
Amazing.
Cool, nice one.
Very good.
I can tell you, because by the time I'm announcing it tomorrow anyway, but on Tuesday, the next guest on this podcast is Peter Hickman.
No.
Yeah. Can't believe it.
No way.
Yeah, he's coming on,
Fair play, Bruce. Fair play.
I have no idea how that happened, but yeah, he's coming on for a chat on Tuesday night, and I'm like, shit, what the hell do you ask Peter Hickman? So,
oh my god.
Yeah, so I'll be post up tomorrow for that. So, can't wait for that one.
You need to get the clan working on overdrive with the questions.
Absolutely. Yeah, they tend to be quite good.
They'll come up with some corkers, I'm sure.
Hopefully, yeah. How have you found it? Have you enjoyed it?
Loved it, but I can just like talk the back legs off a donkey anyway.
Good.
So the fact that I can do it like with a like-minded biker is me. So yeah.
Are you all right Are you okay for time? Because this is like over 2 hours now. We've been gassing.
Absolutely fine.
You sure?
I'm just more concerned about your viewers with me droning on.
Don't worry about that. No worries. I'm sure they're enjoying it.
But do you know what I'm finding in lockdown? I'm loving listening to the long things.
Yeah.
Because I'll be doing my kitchen and I'll be scrolling. Oh God, so stereotypical. I'll be doing my cleaning and I've got it on in background and I'm just listening to it.
Yeah.
And I'm just loving it. Yeah. I've done it with all your Bru Time so far.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
Been really good, yeah. That's why I was like, I've got to get on.
That's what I like about like the podcasts are so they're the polar opposite of what my normal stuff on YouTube is, because on YouTube you're constantly trying to get the length of your content down and down and down, because people just don't have an attention span. Yeah. So like my stuff used to be 40-45 minutes, whereas now I'm trying to get it 15 to 20 minutes if I can.
Yeah.
Whereas with this, you can have these at like 2.5-3 hours long, and those that want to listen will listen. So
exactly. Yeah. Like we've been doing it like with this quizzing team, where we've been quizzing, like me, Biker Jen and Al and Liz have been quizzing each other. And it's been going on for like, an hour and a half or something. But it doesn't get many views, but it's got like a die-hard like group of people, and they're like, when's the next one? We love it. It's so funny. And that kind of makes us want to just keep doing it.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I've chatted about this on quite a few of the other podcasts, is that the trip videos, so most of my vids are all trip stuff, because I'm always away with my tour company and all that malarkey. But they are the most work to produce. They take days to produce those videos, but they don't get many views at all. Whereas you chuck up a review of a bike, which can take you a couple of hours to edit, and they'll get tens of thousands of views, sometimes more. And but as you said, my follower, my wee community, because they've grown up with me through the channel, with it being based on the trip stuff, they're like, if I chuck a video out 15-20 minutes, they're like, where's the 40-minute?
Yeah, where's the rest?
Where's the rest of it coming? You're like, oh, I can't, So it's trying to keep everyone happy. It can be a bit of a...
You can't. Nah. You literally can't do it.
There's another one asking about introduce more women into biking. DT Motorbikes. Do you know Sean Pope from Drive
yeah.
Tribe. Ask Kate if my wheelies she failed to capture on the Katana launch were the bestest ever.
No. No. They were semi-decent, Sean, I'll give you that. But I didn't film it because I was pinned trying to catch him and I had a chest mount on, so all I recorded was tank.
No, seriously.
So I didn't get his insane wheelies and skids and all that good stuff.
He's a maniac, isn't he?
He is. So my bad, Sean. I'm really sorry about that.
I did the Energica SS9 and Ego launch with him out in Italy, and we've gone away and we had this briefing, you know, because it was being filmed for their corporate bollocks all about Moto E. They were like, no wheelies, no hooligans, no misbehaving. Yeah, so they've got drones up and everything filming us as we're out playing in the mountains, and we had to do like ride bys for this camera crew. So we've got to the end and gone to do a U to come back the other way, and I'm behind Sean, and he just stopped and then just did this massive burnout, just covered,
like rolling burnout.
Yeah, covered me in burning rubber, and then we had to go by the cameras, and I'm covered head to foot in black sticking rubber. He's a good boy. Yeah, good lad. He fell over pissed in the shower that night, burst his knee. Never mind.
Doesn't surprise me. No, he's all right.
He's a nice lad, isn't he? Yeah. Right, Lawyer in Leathers. Question for us both. Question number 1. Would you rather A, ride a bike with no front brake, or B, ride a bike with no back brake?
Ride a bike with no back brake.
Yeah, it's got to be, innit?
Because when I first started riding, I crashed my SV big style at 18, like ripped that in half. Weren't my fault, got pulled out on. Then I bought myself an XJ6, a Yamaha, and I did not use my back brakes for the 4-year finance that I had on it, to the point where my pads still look brand new.
What, the original pads?
Yeah, and I got with Mike and he was like, what are you doing, Kate? You need to start using your back brake. Because he's an off-road lad, he's all about the back brake.
Yeah.
So I introduced that. But then when I started doing track days, I was locking up a bit, and Mike was like, why are you locking up? And I'm like, he's like, are you using your back brake? I'm like, yeah, because you told me to use my back brake. He's like, not on track. Use your front. I'm like, oh my God.
Can't cope with this.
I couldn't win, honestly. My brain exploded. But yeah, so I would like to live without the back brake, because the front one is definitely more important for stopping power.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, same. I only use the back brake for slow speed stuff, to be honest with you.
Exactly.
I don't use it that often.
You don't slam on and drop it.
Yeah, exactly.
Spend that back brake.
Question number 2 from Lawyer in Leathers. Would you rather ride A, a cruiser bike with extended forks and monkey bars, or B, a sports bike with an extended swing arm? Oh.
Do you know what? I'm out riding with Lawyer in Leathers tomorrow.
Oh, yeah?
She's the girl I'm going out with, yeah. She's got her own YouTube channel.
Yeah, I know her, yeah.
I'd probably say a bike with an extended swing arm, purely because I've ridden Harleys with the big apes.
Yeah.
And because I've got little arms, when I turn them on full lock, I can't pull my clutch in. I'm like little T-Rex arms can't handle it. So it'd have to be the sports bike with an extended swing arm, and then I'd take it to somewhere like Elvington and try it.
Just rag
200 on a booster or something. Yeah.
I've never ridden the old monkey bars. I've never done that, so I'd like to try that, see what it's like. But I've got to admit, none of them float my boat. Yeah.
No. If I'm trying to break a record and do 200, then I'd go for that. So like a turbo booster.
I've just seen who this next one's from. This is my mate Mark. Fulcher Mark. Question for Kate. You claim to be an excellent tea maker. Milk first or second?
Second. So you've got to put the bag in, then you've got to put the water in, then you've got to squeeze the bag a little bit, and then you let it stew a bit.
Say that again.
Well, then you basically got to let it stew a little bit, and then you put your milk in. And you know what? And my preferred brand, was that a question as well?
It said, next one, loose tea or bagged? And what's your brand?
Oh, bagged. And the brand, personally, is PG Tips. And I know people are going to be like, oh, that's a basic-ass brand. But what makes me such a good tea maker, right, I'm letting you into a tip here, is you've got to qualify your drinker exceptionally well. You've got to ask them the colour they want it. Do they want the bag stewing? How much sugar do they take? Do they want it heat? Do they want it level? You get it perfect. You get a reputation as an excellent tea maker, and that is what I have. I don't make the rules.
Do you want a cup of tea or not? That's it. That's all you get with me.
And you know what? I bet people don't ask you to make brews again for them.
They do.
Oh, because I get it all the time. Oh, that brew was amazing. And it's like, oh, you're going to want another one in 20 minutes' time. Great. I've made a rod for my own back.
Okay, so all I've got from that is you like the tip, you like it bagged, and you've got to squeeze the bag.
Squeeze the bag. Qualify your brew drinker.
You heard it here first.
Right. Finesse them. Finesse the brew. And then you will get the reputation that I hold.
Well, I'm a milk first man, and
that's weird.
I get so much abuse for this. But do you know what? I love it when people message me going, "I tried milk first. It's better." I told you.
Really?
I told you.
Maybe I should try it, but I am lactose intolerant, so I have to have soy milk.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll try soy milk first and then the water.
See, like my missus and most of the people I know like builder's tea. They like really strong tea. So it's just a dribble of milk, just a tiny dribble of milk, then tea bag milk, whack it in there, let it stew for a while, squeeze the life out the bag, job done.
I like the colour of my brew, like my skin after a good holiday.
Right.
You know, nice tan colour.
Yeah, but you're northern. A tan is probably like white, is it? It's one shade above Scottish.
No, to be fair, I can't stand like proper milky tea.
Oh no, I hate that.
Ugh.
It's just it coats your tongue. It's horrible. I hate that. Ugh.
Oh, it's just wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you already replied to Fulch. Yeah.
Fulch?
Yeah, I think you did. Yeah, you replied. You replied on Instagram. Sorry. Okay, right. Roddy the Rider. He's asked, in one sentence, can you tell us who you are and what you do? In one sentence.
Wow. Not really. I'm username Kate, Instagrammer, blogger, blagger, YouTuber. Just me that rides bikes and films it occasionally.
Job done.
And that's why I said that you were scraping the barrel, because I've got no accolades. I'm not,
Don't be daft.
I ain't done anything fantastic in my life. I'm just me. Yeah, but you know what has become apparent? I'm clearly the poster figurehead for female riding questions.
Yeah. So I was hoping I hope it's not been like that, is it? I mean, it's obviously it's going to be like a... It's going to be a mainstay of a lot of questions, isn't it? People are going to ask.
Yeah, well, I think I'm like the first lady, loosely, like on Bru Time. Mm-hmm. So it's going to happen. So I'm grateful for it because it sparks a convo in it. So
I specifically wanted you to come on, to be honest, because you are very, very level-headed about it, and you don't like champion it at every single opportunity. It's a case of I am a woman, but I'm a woman in the biking industry, and I'm doing my thing, and that's that. And I like that it is very.
I've done it without any championing around me.
Well,
if I can, anyone can, because it's if you like something enough, you'll find a way to do it regardless of any adversity.
Absolutely. I get people asking me about the world thing, the world traveling thing. Oh, I would love to do that, but this X, Y, and Z, can't because of this, can't because of that, blah 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 blah. And I have to say to people, when I chat to them and message them and stuff, it's like, if you've got that attitude, it won't ever happen, because the only difference between people like me and, you know, Sam Manicum and people like that who've gone and done these trips is that, as you said, you have the mentality where it's going to happen. I'm going to make that happen no matter what comes in my way, because it's not easy. And it's not a case of I'm going to go around the world. Well, there you go. You know, off you go. It's not like that. Life's not like that, is it? You have to make it happen, and you've got to, when an obstacle comes in front of you, because they do, you've got to figure out a way around it and over it, under it, through it.
Like, I really admire people like you that actually like go and do it. And the reason why is because it's like nowadays there's a societal structure and it's how you should live your life. You've got your 9 to 5, your full-time job, you've got your mortgage, you've got all these bills that you've got to pay for. And I think that if you've got the desire enough to do it and you save up and put that money aside so that it enables you to be able to do it, or you sell your house or whatever, how you do it, like, there's like no right or wrong way, but we're kind of conditioned to believe that you've got to do things a certain way, but you're in control of your own destiny. You've only got one life. So you don't have to do it the way society says. Just do it your way. And you figure it out as you go along and you adapt and overcome. And at the end of it, when you're done, something will happen for you. And it might lead on to something else. Yeah,
absolutely. So, or if it doesn't, it will definitely change you as a person doing something like that, no matter what it is. If you test yourself to whatever limit, then it does change you. And even if you end up coming back to the old life or the old job or anything like that, you'll be different, and you'll treat your old way of life differently, you know, hopefully.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Wow, this got philosophical.
It did, didn't it? Right, I kind of think that's probably a good place to end, because we're like 2.5 hours now.
Wow.
Yeah, that's flown by. I hope it's flown by for yourself. Fast. I've really enjoyed it, Kate. Really enjoyed it. Thank you very much for coming on.
Thanks, man. The only thing making the time like not fly is the fact that I've drank too much and I've got the bladder of a fish.
Oh, you should have said. We could easily stop.
No. Honestly, I'll be fine. It's only a UTI. I'll be all right. No, I'm kidding. But no, thank you so much for having me. Like, my pleasure. It means a lot that you even like said like, yeah, come on. And I was like, awesome.
Don't be that, honestly. And if we get to sort something out for, even if it's not a Land's End to John O'Groats, but it'd be great to have you involved in something. And I'll keep in touch. I'll let you know when we're doing something else.
All right. Amazing.
Awesome. Well, you look after yourself, and
yeah, you too.
I hope it's not too much of a shock to the system when you get back to work.
Oh, fingers crossed that's that.
All right, folks.
I'm sure I'll be right.
Yeah, you'll be fine. I'm sure you'll be fine. Where is it? Williams?
Yes, Williams, Manchester.
Williams Motorrad.
Motorcycles.
Up in Manchester. If you're up that neck of the woods, folks, and you're after a Beamer, good deal, pop in and give Kate a shout. Check out her Instagram, username Kate. All the other links will be down below. Give her a follow, a like, or a subscription, and or both. Right, look after yourself, take it easy. Folks, hope you've enjoyed this one. It's been a hoot. Massive guest coming on, which I can't tell you about at the moment, but oh my God, can't believe they are coming on the podcast soon. Apart from that, look after yourselves, folks. Keep on keeping on. Look after those that you love, but most importantly, live your life. Woo-ha.